Yo, yo, yo.
Yo,
What's happening, mate?
what's going on, man?
Your mic's a little bit low.
Is it?
Oh, it's not now. It just went really high. It went from low to high really quick. How you doing out there, man?
All good, man. All good. What
Good,
about
good.
yourself?
Can't complain too much. Let me just welcome everyone to the Shiffa Show, where we can talk about life issues, what's going on around us. We can talk about all aspects of life in all aspect, every aspect. You know, we talk about religion, we can talk about knowledge, we can talk about theories, we can do science, we can do whatever you guys want. So today, right now, we got all in 360 on the panel. And I think we're going to start off today with a little bit of entertainment because everyone's been a bit bored in the house, including yours truly. So I want to know what people have been doing to stay entertained. You know, what kind of stuff you know of that's out there to keep people entertained and keep them, you know, sane while stuck in the house. So can you give us some heads up on some entertainment that you've been keeping yourself occupied with?
Yeah, reading books.
What,
um,
what books have you read?
Acts of Faith. You know about that book by Van Vincent?
I'm not. Well, I think might have
Well,
heard of it somewhere. I'm not familiar with it though.
for people of color. To me personally, I think it's for everybody. But I think everybody from all walks of life and everywhere can take the book and apply it to their life. But she was actually, Yola was at Yanna, sorry. She was targeting for people of color, to just like empowerment. It's never enough.
So what did you like most about the book?
Just basically everything's just positive. Do you know what I mean? It's real. It's something that it's like an eye opener to
Yeah.
everyday things that it's easily missed. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of like you know it's kind of like
Yo.
you program to think to be a certain way and accept things, like adopt things to your life as like the norm, as normal. Not realizing that no, these things are actually kind of affecting you in a negative way. Do you get what I'm saying? And you know yeah, it's just it was just very educational, like self-education, I mean, and how to approach things. Um, things like how to approach things, how people will approach you in terms like she would say something like, no one should on you know what I mean, no, it's not for anybody to use the word should on anybody else. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just something for um yourself. Only you can tell you what you should and should not do. Do you know what I'm saying? Negative things people tell you, they're all lies, and just getting fully understanding of how they're lies. And some people don't realize that that's what they do. I mean, but that's just simple. Other than that, it's it's online gaming, Call of Duty, and that.
Yeah. Yeah, the online gaming can get addictive though. Out to Veli Vision, out to everyone looking in. The link is in the chat room, yeah. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna jump on Veli Vision shortly while we're in motion, and we'll just do a quick promotion for you guys as well. So thanks for logging in, Veli, man. Appreciate your support, my brother. Big up to yourself. But yeah, if you go scroll down in the chat, just under what you've put in there, we've put the link there as well. So if you can copy and paste it, even better. Thank you for that, man. So yeah, but is that the only book you've read recently then, 360, or is there any other books that you've been looking into?
No, that's just that's the one I'm on right now. I think of there was a book from TD Jakes, so book. let's get back into it. But that's that one. I'm on that one at the moment. I mean,
all right, say nothing. Hold on. Let me try and add Veli. If you click the link and just go to the StreamYard, Veli, yeah, then obviously, can I see you in there? Oh, you're there. You're there. Wow. What's happening, Vels?
Yo, Wagwan, what's poppin', man?
They are just promoting the show.
Yeah, still.
Having a bit of conversation right now. We're trying to keep it calm over here though, because I thought, you know what, it will be a nice contrast, like especially if someone's on the show now and they're not really getting to say their point or get it out. You know, we try and keep it respectful over here. So if you've got something you want to talk about, give you some extra time, you know, like that.
Yeah. Now saying that, man, I was just passing through. You get me? Sure, I see the man them going live real quick. Got me, but obviously I've got the man them over there, and yes,
loving the
support. Yeah. What's going on though, man?
Well, we're just talking about
big up 360 as well, man.
Yeah, come on, big up everyone locked in right now. Big up Panero for the channel.
Yeah, big up you,
come on. But yeah, right now today we're just talking about we got different people talking about different subjects. Right now we're just doing entertainment, things to keep you entertained while everyone's stuck in the house, and just being resourceful, survival tactics, that kind of stuff, you know. Like some of the stuff we even talked about on Veli Vision, like I'm gonna be incorporating, you know, like us coming together and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, G. Yeah, man. I'm here still anyway, man. You can't just like logging in the background and yeah.
So what time are you lot locking off over on Veli Vision?
About probably about another hour or so.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and fly over there shortly then, so I can promote the show a little bit. If people want to jump in, they can jump in as well.
Yeah. Well, when I've locked it off, I'll send everyone over and it can still live still.
Yeah, that makes sense even.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump back over real quick, yeah, and then yeah. So big up, big up you. Also, you saying that on, yeah.
Nice one,
right. Peace.
Bless. So 360. Would you say then that the Call of Duty game is the best game right now that's out right now to keep you like, you know, occupied for a while you're in the house?
Well, I can say it's a really good game. I don't know much about all the other games. That one, I think yeah, it's worth getting. It's worth downloading. Do you know what I mean? I think there's an option to actually pay for more features of the game, but it's a free. I'm dealing with the freeness right now, and yeah, it's definitely improved. Do you know what I mean? Because I think Call of Duty kind of fell off for a bit. They were going downhill. It's like they ran out of ideas. But no, they've definitely picked up. It's a good one.
Well, listen, what do you think of Fortnite?
Dead.
What do you think of Fortnite?
I think I wasn't really a fan of that one, to be honest.
Do you think that? Do you think in like, you know, like we've got like the sales for games, right? Do you think Fortnite will be with Call of Duty or below it?
No. Fortnite. Run that back. Will you say Fortnite is on par with Call of Duty?
No, I'm asking. What would you say? So a lot of the younger generation coming up now is like really on the Fortnite thing. Most kids are Fortnite at the moment. They are.
Yeah,
you know, like
for the kiddies. Yeah, for the kiddies, I say maybe Fortnite might be a better look. Do you know what I mean? Because they take it to it's like it opens up their imagination. Do you get what I mean? Where some things are just not realistic. You know, it's virtual reality, so it's not real. But end of the day, it's like, who the hell's going to be building a fortress in seconds? Man? It's just it's there. You know what I mean? So with a golden llama.
Don't forget the golden llama they have.
What's the golden llama?
Fuzzy, I understand where this is going. That game's spiritual, cuz, where things are make believe, innit? You can create your own planet and everything on that game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's like, what the hell?
Build your world. Yes, man.
Oh man. You know, but that's why I say Call of Duty is on point, because I see the details. Like, they brought it back to the modern warfare, like, well, we go like 10, 11, 12 years ago. Like, modern warfare, Black Ops 2 and that. It's brought that kind of level to the table, but they've obviously hijacked Fortnite. Fortnite's on point because they hijacked that battle royale. But I think people slept on Battlefield, because Battlefield's been running this thing from early. They've been doing it like this for a long time. Do you know what I mean? But it's definitely
I see what you're saying with the Battlefield, definitely. Yeah,
like all the vehicles and all this and that. Because honestly, when I started playing Call of Duty, I was just hooked on that. You know what I mean? Everything. And it's a friend of mine. He was like, "Bro, it's not this Call of Duty, you know." Cut a long story short, he introduced me to Battlefield. It was over from that point. Do you know what I mean? I was like, nah.
That's what I'm saying. It had this time, I think, of the best shoot 'em up for a while. Because remember, before that, if anyone's in there like 80s, early 70s, late 70s, you remember 007 back in the day with the golden gun?
Yeah, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. That was the that was a serious shooting game.
From Nintendo 64 days.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so when Call of Duty came, come on, I
don't remember that. I don't know about that, man. Bruv, man, don't know about them things there, bro. I'm too young. I don't remember that.
Listen. Call of Duty, like, yeah. Cuz, do you remember? I'll tell you another good. It got softer when you have things like Halo. It's easy to shoot people.
Heavy, I like that. Yeah, Halo was good though. Nah, Halo was tough.
But Halo was tough. I think Halo was when it came out. It was one of the best games.
Say that again.
You got Halo.
I can't hear you. Though. Say that again.
I didn't hear a thing.
What did go on.
I said when Halo came out, it was one of the best games.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That imagination thing, that was wicked. Epic storyline.
And if you think like the Call of Duty, I think they've had their time, but there's some die-hard Call of Duty fans. No matter if a game's better, they're still going to be Call of Duty. But I think Call of Duty had this phase where it was the baddest shoot 'em up at that point. Then you talk about Battlefield. You can even get some other games now, cuz. Yeah, but there's pair shoot 'em up games now. But I think with Call of Duty, what I loved about the game, tell the truth, it had realistic. It's like Franks and some games you've got them, but the gadgets, the guns. Do you know what I mean? It's more of an art. It's more realistic.
Well, do you know what? It was actually proven on the news. Well, I remember watching ITV News one time years ago, right? And they proved that, you know, like battle games, like on the computer and that are education games. Like you can learn a lot. And I'm like, bro, that shit real. Do you know what I mean? It really is real. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you said, like them flashbangs and things like that.
If you want to be a soldier and you played that game, right? You know every bloody bomb as well. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you're into Formula One, check it, guys. If you're into Formula One, you drive around in a car, which is called a simulator. Yeah?
Yeah.
And it might start off with Daytona, Sega Rally, and then after that, now you go and buy another car simulator. Remember, certain man when you play computer, they used to have the steering wheel. And when you had certain guns shoot, remember certain shoot 'em up games where you could buy the gun. You could have a gun. And I
can remember way back with them games.
That's one of them real hardcore gamers, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, bro.
We got the pads on them as well, like the steering wheel, gear stick, everything. Like, mad.
Yes, hey, cuz. The chair alone's around 5 bags, blood. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, the chair was expensive. But before you man get too excited, is there anything else you've been doing around the house, like to keep yourself entertained other than just games and stuff? Are you doing any exercises? You know?
No, I mean I should be. I've got the gym, but it's not gonna happen. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know what I mean? I've been staring at it every day, like I've got no excuse. Like, dude, you got a gym. You know what I mean? You're home, like it just doesn't. Nah. I just look at it like it's really bad, but oh well. I mean, it's too many days, too many nights. You know what I mean? This is a lot. I don't even think nowhere and you know really had to go through this as well, bruv. Like no one can leave, do anything.
So have you guys seen any good films lately that you would recommend for people to watch?
Jumanji. Me and my son watched Jumanji. That was funny. It's comical, mate. Huh?
You thought that one was good, yeah?
Yeah, I personally thought.
See, not. What about you?
It's just. Go on. Say that again.
What's that mean?
Yeah, what about you, man? Any good films?
Yeah, man. Stranger Things. Well, that's a series. Watch little Stranger Things now and again. There's enough things on really. Money Heist. You know what I mean? Narcos. You can watch box sets as well. You know what I mean? Depend. I'll watch that one. It's meant to be about the coronavirus. What's going on now?
Yeah.
There's one like that. You know, there's loads of things to do, cuz. You know what I mean? Loads of little things to do.
What's the one that's like the coronavirus? What's that one?
It's basically like similar to what's happening now, kind of thing. It's a pandemic. I think it's called Converin or something like Coverin or something like that. It's a bad boy film. Watch it.
Okay. Where you find that one?
Well, you just notice things, isn't it? Everyone was going on about it. Everyone was going on about it, saying, "Have you seen this film? Have you seen this film?" You just watch it, innit? See what I got. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
What did you take back? What did you take from that film that was where you found it similar?
Well, the fact that it's talk about the coronavirus, isn't it? Is that the one you're talking about? I don't really watch TV. That's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really watch TV. So
just what it is, you're getting a lot of pandemic films in it. They've always been pandemic films. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If you think about 2012 or Twister, they're all pandemic. They're all pandemic films. Do you understand? But obviously, these films there, you could look at it two ways, innit, and think, wow, is it a coincidence or is it a film? Or is it been made before? Or has it, do you understand? It's up to you what you want to take from it, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's similar in a sense, but there's one where there's with Will Smith, and a man's in the world on his own, master. You understand?
Legend.
Yeah.
I am legend.
Man's on his own. If this is the one I'm talking about, the man's literally on his own. And
I am legend.
And they killed his dog. You have to deal with the thing. There's enough films, but I'll go back and watch that. You
understand? Yeah. That's the top. That film was top. That's back in 2007, right? 2008, something like that.
Well, you know what? When it comes to film, I don't really watch the dates still. You understand? Because unless it's a film I've gone cinema to watch, then I will remember the year. Do you understand? If I go cinema this year and I watch it, of course, but sometimes you watch films. I do, when I watch it, I will check to see when it's made. Oh, yeah, it's made whenever, but I don't know when that one's made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you see, that's what I'm saying. I don't really watch TV too tough. I watch movies, and more times that's my thing. Like I'll go pictures and this and that, but I haven't been to cinema in wow, man. I ain't gonna lie. So one's gonna probably ask, like,
how are you watching the films then?
Yeah, you see, you stole the words from my mouth. As I was saying, like, you people gonna say, "Wow, how you watch that?" Like, I tell a boy, no watch that. Don't worry about it. Oh no, it's like my phone badge. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Watching them big films there, yeah. It's all right. It's on Sky now, isn't it? Jumanji, it's on Sky.
No, Jumanji's been out for a second, so I don't even find time for myself, to be honest. This is the perfect time. I don't really know what films is out this instant like now. There ain't nothing out. You know what I'm saying? No one's out in it. But yeah, no, man, don't really know nothing. What's out there now? Because Jumanji, I think Jumanji came out. When was that? Was that January? And then times there.
It's a little while ago.
Yeah.
If it went December, probably January this year. But no, more times just online, man. Just that's the thing, or just reading.
Yeah.
Using this time to study, catch up with my study and that. So good.
I hear you. What you studying at the moment?
You mean plumbing? Finishing off that. Electrics, finishing off that. I mean, almost finished on that one. But that's the thing. I'm never. People be like, "Raw, like, why you got all these qualifications? You're gonna use it, this and this and that." Like, shut up, bro. Do you know what I mean? Just one of them man that I like to know a bit about everything, innit? I just think it's beneficial because minds change, innit? You might wanna, you might be doing something today, and tomorrow you just want to go and do something else. Don't limit yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially in these times.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to know a bit more about. You know they say like a jack of all trades, but master of none. I mean,
yeah,
it's no point being somebody who don't know nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, so at the end of the day, you just got to find what you enjoy doing, and people just need to learn to adapt to like being being productive. Like anyone that's at home and they just feel that they can't hack it. More times that they don't understand about meditation and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't really know their self. You understand? So I don't know, maybe media just kind of gets in the way, do you know what I mean? Whether it be that IG everybody's on and other things, like time will always fly by.
Yeah.
On days things there. Do you understand? But I consider myself kind of boring. Fact, straight, no business. You know what I mean? To be honest. Because I'm not on what everyone else is on the most. You know what I mean?
In what regard though?
All the social media and everything else like that. That's the TV. I'm not a huge fan of that. That's just.
I don't know. What's the problem with it?
Dead. See, I wouldn't really say it's a problem. It's not a problem. It's just not for me. Do you know what I mean? Just like it's either it's for you or it's not. It's not for me. Boring. Like.
I hear you. It's not for everyone. You're right. Because some people, they're more outdoorsy type people, and I think that, that's gonna be quite a big thing, quite a big issue for some people, not being able to go out and being stuck with that as the only option, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you've got like someone who loves a computer game, like a football computer game, for example. Yeah. But give them a football, they don't even know how to kick it. See, I'm proactive. I'd rather go and kick a football. Like Call of Duty, you can't just go around and start shooting people with that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's not real when that's. Do you know what I mean? It's just I mean, you can go and do paintballing and things like that, but now you can't. So I like those.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
It's got to be difficult though, man, for someone in those kind of circumstances who doesn't like being in the house. Yeah,
got to find a way to like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like reading, and I haven't always. I think it was more like my late teens more into reading. Before then, I was always reading, but I wasn't a huge fan.
Okay.
And all that, you know, that like reading out loud and things like that. I'm lazy. You can hear it in my voice now. Like, I'm not that person to like broken English kind of thing. I'm lazy. Like, I can understand the Queen's English, but I don't really care about that. Do you know what I mean? We see like that conversation we had the other day, and a bit rebellious in a sense.
I hear you.
You get what I'm saying? So it's just.
So edits.
Yo.
So what other kind of stuff you've been looking at, like entertainment wise, shopping wise? Is there anything hot on the market right now that people might want to be looking at? Obviously, some of it you won't be able to use right now because I don't suppose anyone's going to be partying anytime soon. You know, I doubt you'll be stunting on anyone on your way to work because the road's pretty empty out there. But you might still want to look good while you're doing what you're doing right now. So talk to us, Edits, man. What's going on?
Well, you see me, man. I'm like, I just do my own thing. Whether it's Corona, not Corona, lows Corona, wherever it's Corona. I'm a man that, say for argument's sake, I'm a man, I like my house and I like outdoors. I like both. You understand?
Okay.
So, you know what I mean?
Proper.
I've got a little man, I've got my little you. So when I'm at home, me and my boy is ramping. You understand? Got my girl at home. To a certain time, brother, I'm easy, you understand? But if I'm out, I'm out, innit? And I can go out and flex and enjoy myself as well, you understand? But you know, it is like, as I'm saying, it's what am I on? Just fucking getting through it, like everyone else.
Yeah.
You understand? It's getting through it. Like, I'm a soldier still. So with me, I'm taking care of my family. And that means everyone. You understand? If my mum wants something, I'll go and get my mum something, innit?
Yeah.
If my nan wants something, if Cole's mum wants something, if my next brethren wants something, and their mum will say, well, you're going to go, innit? Because I'm already out there.
Yeah. Obviously not in this time, though. Like, obviously not in a...
talking about this.
No, obviously not in a like social media, like not obviously in a you know, the practicing social distancing thing.
No, but what I'm saying is, cousin, I'm saying.
No, I'll get you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm stuck here. You understand? And if I'm out, I'm out.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. You understand?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, if I'm talking to people who are out there, you understand, who not so much for myself, and you're indoors, do you understand? Try and do things right now. It's time to just create and be silly and have ideas. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you're just saying you reading or whatever. If you can't read, you don't write or whatever. And you understand? It's just
because you're a well-rounded person. You get me? You're a well-rounded person. You're 360. Where at the end of the day, you're happy wherever you're comfortable in your own skin. You're comfortable in your own. You know what I mean? Your own domain, in your own home. Whether you're on the streets, whether you're out, whether you're in. No, that's big. Proper.
Good evening, brothers. Sorry to just jump in. I'm having to say hello in a moment of deepness.
What's happening?
What's happening in software?
How are you guys doing?
Hey, bro, you didn't tell me we're getting celebrities on there, man. Is that Rockaway?
You're a funny guy.
Rockaway.
Software, hardware.
Well done, software, the general, the professor. Well done. How you feeling?
The professor's in the building.
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad today. I've been kind of busy. I thought I'd give a little bit of time since I was asked. You know, What's up, Flames? Yeah, I know you're feeling those facts. Today I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Unfortunately, I would love to give you so much more time. But what today I will be giving you is everyone wants to know about what you can do. I've been spending my time investigating power. You know, we all know about power, electricity. Most basic forms of power which we have is a battery. You know, I don't know if anyone knows the history of a battery. Does anyone in the group know about how the battery began? How we first got any simplified type of energy, which is transportable, I would say. Can I ask?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, they stole it from Africa.
Well, I can't say stolen. I can say borrowed. The ideology of the theme is borrowed. Basically, from what I've found, the first original battery which was found is called a Baghdad battery. It's made from clay, and it has a stock which is like a port you put in the top, a copper tube which goes straight through the center of it, and I don't know what type of material they use as a liquid base, but I do understand is something which is acidic. You can get those properties either from citrus fruits like lemons, limes, maybe oranges, and also if you procure grapes, you can also get a level of acidity as well. So if you actually leave the chemical in there once it's purified, it starts to react with the copper. How that basically works is electrolysis, moving positive ions, which are constantly moving in the environment, with negative ions. And once they react, there's a small static current. Now, people have taken that process, which you could say is, as you said, is stolen, but from what I can understand is borrowed, and they've improved it. So we've kind of gone away from using the standard copper. We've used better transferable materials. So we still have copper at a basic level, but we're now using lithium. What I actually came across today currently is a new type of battery which will soon be released in the market. But let me explain how lithium works. Anyone can make a battery currently right now. You only need a couple of pennies, 2p pieces, I would say, and 5p's. Now, what you do is you layer them up, 2p, a 5p, 2p, a 5p, and you can put them in a little bit of maybe acidic concentrate, so you can make some from lemon or lime. And what you would do is you would use two cables. You put one on the bottom side of it, which would make it either a north or a south, so positive or negative polar plate, and then you put one on the opposite side. All you'd have to do is slightly touch if the acidic strength is strong enough, and you would get a very small current, not enough to be maybe 1 amp or 1 watt. Now, if you're understanding what amps and watts are, the easiest way for me to explain it to somebody who may not be knowing about it is watts is a measurement of potential which is coming out. Easiest way to look at it is like a tap of water. When you turn it up, you increase the pressure. When you turn it down, you decrease the pressure. Amps is the measurement of how much charge you're actually getting. So that's the basic flow rate. Yeah, so just like how you would turn on the pressure and maybe put your finger underneath the pipe and decrease the amount of space for the air to come out, it forces it to come out in a forced, rushed, rapid period. You have ohms, which is the measurement of the resistance that you're getting. So you're always going to lose
and everything.
Yeah,
but
so
it's just the Ohm's law is just what
yeah. So
the government.
You're losing some potential basically. So you always work out that you're going to put something in. Basic any thermodynamics, you're going to lose something through the process. It's either because the materials are not good enough, or maybe you're losing something because of the process you're doing. And that basically calculates the size of what you can potentially get out of it from what you're putting in. And then everyone knows about watts, and that's just the power conversion of what you're getting it back into. Now, you only really need three basic things. You need a power source, a conductor, and a load. Load is usually a bulb or a heating component or even a motor. Currently we have DC, which is direct current. We're just plugging into the grid, so someone's already generating that. And then you have alternating current. Alternating current is you probably turning a wheel at a constant pace, but it's not always positive. It goes through positive to negative charge. So you're probably thinking, how is that useful for somebody who wants to keep a light on because you don't want your light to keep flickering? Well, you get other components like a diode. A diode would allow you to be able to convert the alternating current into one direct flow. Then you would use a capacitor to store the energy which is coming off from the switching alternating current. And then you would use a resistor to bring down the power load, which is usable to any component you're currently using. So that's how we have our basic lithium batteries. But these new ones, which are done by Samsung, which they're called state batteries, they're going away from using an acidic trait. So no longer were they thinking about using something on an alkaline basis. They're just talking about using the raw materials. This would probably go back to what Faraday was talking about and what Nikola Tesla probably was talking about, of free conversion of energy. Because we all know, as most scientists who do study in the field, that there are interactions between certain materials when they come close. For instance, you put in two magnets together, you'll get opposing force. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. As you can see, the Baghdad battery is there. So you'll get an opposing force which will either repel or push. So you're probably thinking that's not a lot of power. How would you increase the power? Well, by increasing the power is by increasing the amount of copper wire you'll use. So if you take a pencil and you wrap it once, that's one circulation of charge. The more times you wrap it, the more coils you have, the more circulation of charge that you're building up. So the potential that you're getting out of it is increased. By using a magnet, which most people are using these days, or they have them in the back of their speakers, or actually currently near to one of their circuits, it increases the potential of electrical current which is coming through, and that's why they usually use copper. You could use silver, which is a better conductor, but it's highly malleable. After it gets to a certain temperature, it becomes soft, and then it starts to melt. So that's where we currently are for what we have at the moment. But there are other alternative means to get current as well. We do have biocells. Biocells are nurtured from plants, basically. They're organic material which you can synthesize, and eventually it does start to give off electrolysis, which is basically a form of electrical current. The best way that we currently do have a way to make some type of current, which you're probably not aware of, is watches. If you think about classical watches with the actual gears and cogs, they have a small material called quartz. Quartz vibrates, and it is actually a good conductor for electric static current. So if you have a certain amount of it, you're actually able to make a good circuit from it. So there are so many ways for us to test theories for you to get free power, because you can make generators and motors, again, using the same principles of having a resistor, a diode, and a capacitor. You'd also need something to power it, which would either be something you make or something which is direct current, which is a battery or a plug. But since you want to make free energy, you probably make a motor of some sort, which would turn up some level of power. If you live near enough to anywhere with water, then you can always use the river as a type of converter, using the water power, which is turning a turbine, to generate some electricity. Maybe you live in the forest and you've got loads of trees. Then you'd have to probably think of some alternative. Best one is probably from solar power and wind power. But again, you might have problems if you've got too much trees because you need a lot of open space.
I like the fact you brought those ones up though, because obviously I was going to say there are types of power that we use already, you know, like for instance, wind, solar, you know, obviously water, hydro, whatever. So like, as far as these batteries are concerned, how effective would they have been? How effective would they have been in a prehistoric world in comparison to what we got today?
Well, from what we've been told, so I can't go off actual fact because we're still unsure of what they used as their alkaline base, which in any normal batteries these days we have deionized water. So it's just basically boiled water with a lot of salt added to it. So theoretically, they tell us it's about maybe the 15 to 20% of what we currently have of our lithium batteries. Lithium batteries are maybe 70% efficient. This new type of battery which they have developed is 200% efficient, and it has more than 1,000 times to be able to recycle the energy before you have to deplete it and start again.
From what you said already though, yeah, like you can make a battery out of water. Is that what you're saying? Because I'm a bit confused by some of this. I'm not going to act like I'm...
All right, so basically how it works is, as you all know, oxygen and water and carbon dioxide, these are all part of the basic principles: hydrogen, two oxygens, H2O. But there's an actual chemical reaction in between the particles. When you have a strong enough deionized, so it's demagnetized water, you pass current through it and it can actually store the positive ions. You will still have some negative ions, but majority of it is positive. Can hold the charge up to maybe, currently with our lithium ones, about a year. So I wouldn't know how long a Baghdad battery actually holds its current charge. That I'd have to do an experiment and try to remake one of some type of version. So to answer your question, I couldn't give you an accurate answer.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just going to say that obviously the way the cars operate today is using different types of fuel. Obviously, those fuels burn at certain temperatures, at a high enough temperature, you know. The fuel is what's being used to power the car, if that makes sense. So what temperature would water have to burn at before that would be powerful enough to drive a car? And then, you know, does that even work out?
It's not really water burning.
You're not burning more fuel trying to burn the water.
Well, no, not really, because you're not actually burning the water. Don't get me wrong, a battery does heat up, but that's because the current that's going through it is going into a metal, and eventually a metal will heat up. All the water's doing is basically being a transference plate for the current to pass over, so that the static energy can reach something and then either positively charge it. But if you're not giving it something for it to outlet the burst, it will build up, and then whatever compliance that you're putting it into will probably explode. So,
all right, when you say explode, now it's got extreme. So why would it explode? Talk to us, man. Explain that.
All right. So, like anything, if you rub your hands together, you get heat. You rub your jumper, you get static shock. It's a buildup of ions. So a lot of positive charge, eventually it can give you a small shock. But if you're using something which allows you to store the energy, like a capacitor, and you're not allowing it to discharge, it will store it to a certain point where it's overloading, and eventually whatever is holding it will explode. Look at it like a bottle that you're filling up from the tap. Eventually, once you get past the point of it reaching its full maximum, it will start to overflow. And if you're using a jet type of water inlet, eventually the bottle will either crack or it will have a flow back. So with electricity, it's the same principle, because it doesn't have anywhere to escape apart from what it's caged into. The cage itself will eventually break in hindsight. Was that easy enough, or do I need to go back and defer a different explanation? Hello? Shiffa, are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, do you know what? I had my mic muted there. I was talking and the mic was muted. But listen, yeah, I've put something in the screen, yeah. I've shared a link in the screen. Like, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but that as you're talking, I'm, having a look to see if there's anything relatively out there that even sounds similar to what you're talking about, because I had never really heard of any of this stuff before. But I did.
What you can do, if you do want to look it up, you'll probably look up on How Things Work, which is a basic website that most people can get. Currently, Open University is offering free small courses for those people who are at home. So they do have different principles. They had one on the particle accelerator, which I actually read 2 days ago. Quite interestingly enough, it gives you the basic principles of what you will need before you would go and do general study. So you can look these things up, but you would want to look up the principles of who made the motor or the basic theory. So yes, you would have to look up Edison, you would have to look up Faraday, you'd have to look up Nikola Tesla, even Einstein. These are all people that had principles for you to work out something. So as either Ohm's law.
Can you see the screen share that's on the screen?
Stanley Meyer's water fuel cell. Sorry, just to go back, the current cells that we have in cars are not one actual battery. It's multiple smaller batteries which make up a bigger battery. So with the fuel cell which he's using now is a type of water induction, which again, most of our batteries have some type of alkaline or water in it based on it able to carry the charge.
Okay, we're following you. So, like, the point I'm trying to get at is, from what you said, what I gathered from what you said anyway, it's possible to make a battery with water.
Yes, as long as you've got copper, a bit of salt. You probably maybe need nickel, which is not too bad. I wouldn't personally say to go and use copper straight away for someone who's never experimented, because you probably get a bad shock for your first time. If you use nickel, you get less of a shock because it's not that conductive. And then you just need a case. Most people use a plastic bowl or a beaker, and then you need something to transfer the electrical current. So I wouldn't advise any kids without any parents around to, take consent and supervise, because you might actually do something wrong which will hurt you. So you can use a normal battery or a car battery, and then you can use it to test how current is transferred. But if you want to make sure that you're not using something which has stored current, then you'd probably want to do something which generates alternating current, and then you'd have to transfer it into direct current. Hence, I was saying you can use either a wheel which you turn, you can use a type of motor which you've made, or probably just swinging your arm with a mechanism which allows you to transfer the kinetic energy into current. So you'd have to look these things up, because there are so many different variations of devices which allow you to generate some type of current, but it's the theory of which one is the most efficient, which gives you the best output, so that you're not losing anything along the way.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Big up.
Good evening, Toro. How you doing, my brother?
Big up. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, some good points you're making there, and certain things like that. And it sort of brought me back to the Dr. Sabi, where he was talking about electrical foods. And I sort of remember back in the days, like even in primary school, like people used to do some experiment with a potato, and
Yeah, yeah.
somehow the potato would like I think it's the bulb or some sort or something like that.
It's because the potato has a lot of starch. Starch can actually build up a certain chemical reaction. We all taught basic things in primary school, but to use it as a bigger application where you can make a good outcome from it, you have to invest a lot of time. I've invested quite a lot of time, years. I've probably been slacking, but at this current time, before this pandemic actually hit, I was doing a lot of hard research, and I've probably been doing more so since. I've just came away from my research, which I've been doing just so I can do a little presentation. And once I finish, I'm actually going to go back to my work. I'm not really going to have one of these nights where most people are going to chill out, because I have other things that I need to address first before I can put my mind at rest.
True.
Okay, but yes, it is nice to talk to you guys, and
I found this
some
article,
information on.
I found this article here on a page here, and it's talking about a sports car that runs on salt water. So I was just listening back to some of the things you said. So I'm just typing a few of them in, just to just get a brief.
What you would need to type in is hydropower. So it's not salt water. You have to use certain definitions in your typing.
I just remembered you saying salt. If you was going to use water, you'd have to put salt in the water. So
yeah,
I just remember that.
Yeah, I think Honda's done something like that a couple of years back, and there's also a guy in Jamaica that somehow made something a motor vehicle run on water as well.
There's been a few people that's made vehicles and tried to patent them. Unfortunately, because of the people that are running the fuel industry, they wasn't very favored in it because it's not economically friendly.
This is a sports car that runs on salt water. The vehicle goes from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds and has just been approved for EU roads. Yeah. And this thing has a top speed of 217 miles per hour, equal to a McLaren P1. The car uses salt water flow cell system to power 4 electric motors. Water passes through the membrane in tanks, creating an electric charge.
Yep.
Two 200-liter water tanks, can provide a range of 373 miles, 600 kilometers. Yeah, so that's the range of how far it can get. The 4-seater is 5.25 meters, 0.4 feet long, and 2.2 meters wide, 7 feet. Price and sale date yet to be confirmed, but may cost more than
a minute. Exactly, because the whole point of it is to fabricate the components which make the car, and to get back the money they got from the research is why the price is so much. To be quite honest, the car is possible because so many people have made different variations over the years. The only problem that you would have with the car is weight distribution, because water itself is heavy.
But the problem that I have with that is, they could make the car, they could make them cheaper because more people would buy them, then they'll still get their money back in it. It's just selfishness.
True. But again, it's who's controlling the company, because
I'll be honest, I was skeptical at first when you started talking about, getting power from water and stuff. I'm thinking, electric and water don't mix is what we was taught in school, most of us. But ultimately, when looking into what you're talking about, this is why sometimes it's good to have a conversation about things, and we might actually learn something.
Well, in reality, electric and water isn't good because, as I was saying before, water is a type of conductor. It allows electricity to pass over it and through it. It's not like a brick wall, which has got smaller particles, so it's harder for the current to travel through it. Look at it like air. Air hits a surface and it will bounce back. Whereas light can hit a surface and still go through it because of the small particles. Now, with the water, again, like I was saying, it's just salt. Salt is a built up substance of a lot of parts of calcium, and it's very pure. If you want to use water as a power source, you're really going to have to dilute it and add a lot of things to it to make it basically like purified seawater from maybe the North Pole. It has to have so much purities in it that it basically will allow the electrolysis to happen. So this person, yeah, it's probable, but when will it come to normal public? You probably be 3 or 5 years before they think about it.
So do you know about the hydrogen collider as well? Because there is a video on Pinero's Mind's channel about the hydrogen collider already. You know,
yeah, they're actually using the hydrogen collider as part of the particle accelerator, which is done by CERN. So it basically helps speed up any small particles which are massless or basically the weight of air. It's okay, but in the wrong hands, it can be quite dangerous.
What do you think of CERN?
What do I think of them?
CERN.
Personally, if you're asking my personal opinions, I have two opinions. I have one where I don't really know what's going on, because anything that to do getting information about them is quite hard apart from what they publish. And two, the research that they're actually doing is quite fundamental, because we're now starting to understand things that we didn't understand before. Fair enough, I wouldn't have named something the God particle. That's a bit extreme, but that's just me. You know, I would have named it something else.
So this is all of this stuff is completely plausible. You know, making cars that run on water. Obviously, the one that we saw is a sports car, in it. That one's at the extreme, you know, and it still goes to 373 miles, 400 kilometers, or whatever it was, 600 kilometers. Yeah. So, like, that's at the extreme level. So
that's not even extreme. The extreme level, to be quite honest with you, is having cars which run on anti-gravity. There is no such thing called anti-gravity. It's basically understanding the mechanics of motion, you know. If you really want to know about gravity, think about it as the faster you go in a car, the heavier you feel. And that's only because your car has a weight and it's pushing against a pressure. So you're spinning a ball and it spins in one direction. Eventually, if it spins fast enough, it has a small vortex which starts to suck and pull things towards its center. So imagine our planet is a massive ball spinning around. I don't know how fast it's going, but a couple million miles per second. Eventually, it's going to have a gravitational pull towards its center, you know. But again, it still has a positive and negative charge, because it has a North Pole and it has a South Pole. So these things have to balance out.
Someone's recommended in the chat that you should watch the Pinero's Mind video on the collider, and then maybe, you know, think about what's being said in that video and then come back, you know, because maybe you might be missing something out there. I'm not sure what they meant by it, other than
I will go and have a look. I'm not going to say I won't.
Yeah,
you know, to be honest, Chef, you've got an insight or something. At the end of the day, everyone, it's all second reference. You watch a video, someone else got their own opinion. Heads or tails, flip the coin, don't matter, bro.
I'll be totally honest.
Understanding it's good. You know,
listen, I'll be totally honest. Like when the man said,
someone said they're trying to open the gates to hell. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really going to make a comment on it because I'm not working with them. I'm not one of them.
But that's all second reference again, though. That's all, of course, what someone else has said, maybe, I don't know, on a YouTube channel or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do know who made a reference.
Like you said yourself, yeah? Sorry, like you said yourself, yeah? Go on.
There's a smart kid they call, which is the next Einstein. I forget his name. He's probably about maybe 16 now, but he basically agreed with the causality theory. But he said if it's a possibility, CERN has probably tried to replicate our universe so that they could get exponential amount of energy, converting it back into ours, but it's probably destroyed ours, and we're now living in a duplicate universe. That is one of the theories, you know. And then another theory is that eventually CERN will smash so many particles together, you won't just tear the fabric of time and space, you'll start to warp into another type of reality, bringing maybe hell to this realm.
Yeah, I do think it's a bit madness, if I must say, the whole CERN, what I've heard, boy, you know what I mean? I think
I'm listen, you can say I'm mocking it, but I'm only telling you the references that I've read. This is why I said I can't have a personal opinion on it. I'm only telling you from someone.
You did say you had to, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm only telling you from where I'm coming from as somebody who tries to understand science, that there are good qualities to it, but I don't understand what they know. So you're possibly right. It could be something demonic, but I can't give you a reference because I don't have the information.
Yeah, that's honest. I like that. I like it. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you're not biased.
I'm not biased. I'm open-minded, but that's only because I need relevant information to prove whether it's a good thing or not. Because if it's a bad thing, I don't mess with taboo. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other people, if that's their thing and they're into, you know, sacrifice or whatever, fair enough. But you know, we're not of the same kind.
So do you subscribe to gravity then as a thing? Like, is this like, do you think it's just a theory or is it fact?
Going by what they say, it's a fact, but going by what I think it is, I just think it's a stronger type of magnetism, personally, because I understand that no matter what you look at, everything has a positive, negative, and a neutral charge. Yeah, so at the end of the day, regardless of how fine you go at it, whether it's a photon, whether it's a block, you know, whether it's a cell or an atom, it's still going to have a positive charge, it's still going to have a negative charge, and it's still just going to be neutral. So those basic principles can apply to anything. Going outside of that, well, I don't have the research and I don't have the data to sit down there. And again, me, one as an individual, it would take a team of people to analyze that, or have probably the best computer in the world to give me one definitive answer.
I'll be honest, I find this science stuff really confusing.
It can be, because even myself, I get confused. I have to be honest, but then I have to go back and look at references just so I can understand their definition of their terms for certain words.
I hear you. Obviously, you don't want to be using words that you don't fully understand. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you'll find a lot of their references who they're referring to are either Greek, Egyptian, Indian. So they're not currently anything new. They're just labeling it with a different definition of something that refers back to the past, but just with a new name.
Okay, then. Well, obviously, for all the people who know about science, you know, they could query that with you at any time. You know, if they want to jump in the chat room, if anyone's got anything to add or anything to say. Yeah. Bank Boy, we got Bank Boy in the chat room as well, you know.
Hey, how you doing, Bank Boy? Yeah, Royal Lion, I do agree with you. You know, I don't know which aspect you're coming from on your belief. Because you know, you seem to have quite a good sense of religious belief. You might be Christian or Muslim. I'm not going to depict from thin air what you may be. But again,
may not be any of them though.
That's the whole point.
He's making sense. What you're saying, I agree.
You know, so I would say, yeah, people do have agendas. Hence why we're trying to think about how to build a community which is united. I'm pretty sure these people with agendas don't want to be part of this community, and if they do, they probably want to try and control it somehow. You know, so doing certain investigations in certain type of technology, yeah, it's probably wrong. But again, if you don't try new things, you wouldn't have some of the stuff you have now. Fair enough, if it's dangerous, you should stop. you know, then we wouldn't have Hiroshima and all these other things. But you I guess you got to learn from some mistakes, but not at the cost of human lives, I would say.
All right, let me stop you there for a second, software. Yeah, we got Bank Boy here, so I think Bank Boy. What I don't know what he's come.
Go on. Big up everyone on the
I don't know
panel.
what you've been hearing. What have you heard? What did you like? Talk to us. What's going on, Bank Boy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got Torok as well. People in the building as well. For everyone who doesn't know Torok, so like we want to give them a little bit of space to just like let loose and give us some information. Let us know what they've been hearing, what they're agreeing with, what they're disagreeing with. XYZ. We also got Fraser in the room, yeah. So I'm gonna be sitting on the panel, but I'll just be silent for a second. So we're gonna have Fraser in the room. But yeah, if we can just get maybe Torok first, like take a 5-10 minutes and just give us what's going on with you and anything you wanted to put out there for the day or anything.
Well, before you guys do, as I said, I did have to keep it short because I am kind of on a busy one, so I gotta spread the love and say my thanks, and I hope the rest of the debate goes very well. So out to my brothers and sisters, keep doing well and keep strong.
Oh, you're run.
All right,
yeah.
Big up, software. Bless up.
Run with it.
Nice.
Yo.
Hold on. What did I do? All right, we got
him away.
Yo.
So what's happening, lads? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Say nothing. What want to rock?
Oh, big up, man. Yeah, man. It was a deep conversation there. What I was talking about with the electricity and certain things like that. And I think I sort of agree with that point what he was making with gravity being probably like magnetism in a sense like that.
Okay.
And also like I also think electricity is a bit magnetic as well, and it could be used as probably like some sort of way of renewable energy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, especially with the water stuff. That was very, very, very enlightening. Like, because at the end of the day, who's gonna think you could just run your car on water? We pay for petrol, don't we? If I could just turn on the tap and fill up 2 tanks, it's gonna be a different ball game altogether.
But you made a good point though, because water's quite heavy as well.
Yeah, water is quite heavy.
The only point what I did, I know when he's explaining the battery, yeah, and he's saying you're going to use certain materials. He said mud, clay, and all that, yeah. Then he started talking about alkaline and acid, yeah. And then he said about you can use oranges and all this kind of stuff. So we want to use fruit and that to make a battery.
Yeah.
What? No, what I'm saying is no, it's not. I understand the theory of it in a sense to say you can use that. But say, all right, we will use fruit and all of that. What would you eat?
It's probably just to make up a certain battery, isn't it? Basically, that once you
No,
make
but
the
I'm
battery.
saying now they took the idea serious and said, all right, let's run with it.
Yeah.
We'll take me a manga.
Oh, really?
Make battery.
No, not really. All you have to do is try and make something alkaline based.
No, I know. No, but that is. Most of them things are alkaline based. He's not talking truthfully.
Like bitters as well.
That's right.
A lot of the bitters all them type of things.
Because on a personal training level, because I'm a personal trainer as well.
Okay.
Yeah, there's alkaline diet. So it is what he was talking about. I'm just saying, we have to be careful what you're saying. For saying that it's all right, we're going to take away fruits to make a battery.
I don't think he said that.
No, I don't think he said.
No, I'm not saying he said that. I'm saying that's what you can use to make a battery.
No, I don't.
Well, because I was saying with the potato, and it also brought me back to Dr. Sebi with electrical food and certain things like that.
Yeah.
And primary school, there was lighting up light bulb with potato. You know what I mean?
Of course you can. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
doing all
saying.
sorts of stuff like that.
But what's been trying to happen? Like if you look at inventors and stuff like that, yeah, they're using stuff to make stuff. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah, to make stuff affordable or to make stuff accessible.
Yeah, because you're talking about
you're saying
it's
is
affordable.
if you want to
that,
make something, you
right.
need something to make something.
Because he was saying another thing about the batteries, how they're using them. And what's the last one? Lithium battery. Now that one might be very expensive. Do you understand? Then you've got a cheaper one, which is using another element to bring it. But then the lithium one's better because now it's been made based on that basic concept and built into something else, isn't it?
All right, shout out to everyone in the chat, in the chat on the YouTube. Like, keep leaving messages, leave comments. Obviously, I'll post the messages if there are questions. Like, can we do our best to answer some of the questions as well? Because I've seen people saying things up there. You know, obviously, if you're not going to question what they're saying, then maybe you don't need to answer anything. But you know, we'll see what comes through as well. Yeah.
Really just trying to. I feel what software is saying to an extent, because end of the day, you see with the water now, everything he's mentioning, it's what all water is kind of made up of anyway. You got like, you know, when you mention the salts and things like that, you know, you got acidic water, you got alkaline. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you got pH, potential hydrogen. You know, that's just what it is. Do you know what I mean? You can't just say water is just water. Nah, bruv. If you look at what they run, like we live in a city where it's hard water. Yeah. Because it's been boiled to a level where it's gonna have lime scale. It's gonna have scale. It's gonna have it. It's not got soft water. We're not in that kind of. You go to like tropical countries and that, or just even certain areas in England, for example, they got soft water. Yeah, so that's more acidic. Do you get what I'm saying? So the other one is alkaline, anyhow, but it's been processed. So when you mention like you know, you got alkaline diet. It's not this, oh yeah, alkaline, and this is it. Like, it don't work like that. Do you know what I mean? It's
Now we're hearing you, yeah.
Process it. They process it for it to be pure. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you can't. Some people say that spring water is really good. It's not good.
Yeah, but listen to what the man was saying. Yeah, listen to what the man was saying. Though, yeah. Here what I'm gonna say to you. Listen to what the man was saying. Like, he was talking about water, yeah, and he said, I asked him, because of something that he said, I said, could you just use water to make a battery? Then he said, yeah, in theory, yeah. And then he went on to explain. No, but listen, he went on to explain, and he said you would have to add like some salt to it, some other stuff. He went through a whole formula in his own.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you
I
get
don't
that,
understand. Listen, I'm not a scientist like that, innit? Like,
no, you don't have to. You don't have to be a scientist. Listen, I think we give scientists too much credit. Scientists are not God. Like, what I guess he can correct if he's listening in or whatever. Yeah, what he's trying to say is like, you can't just say water. Like, it's what it's made of. Up of, do you get what's in that water?
With the water.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? Because people think, oh yeah, I'm just drinking. You got like what's that?
Alkaline water. Alkaline water.
It makes no difference though, man. At the end of the day, it's water, innit? Water costs less than petrol.
Nah, it's not, because if you got certain waters running through certain pipes, your pipes are gonna get corroded.
All right then. What two elements make water?
You brass. You see now what you went and did? You just went online and just thought you got a question.
No.
Come from the thing and try and start question people.
What is hydrogen and oxygen?
What is it?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
H2O, yeah? So what about, so now they're really making why not a hydrogen battery then? Or an oxide battery? No, I'm saying
I'd imagine that's what they're using anyway. They're using the hydrogen within the water to make the battery run.
Hydrogen.
No, but
you understand what I'm saying?
It's the elements that go to make energy.
Someone said, what about sulfuric acid?
Yeah, proper. You see what I mean? Like that's it.
I use that.
Tonic water, rose water, seawater, spring water, rainwater, bagger water.
Why you want to use the water?
I have to laugh.
Like,
Yeah, it's true.
why
Loads of
you
water out
want to
there.
use the water now?
Listen, if I can run pan water, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
petrol
man.
again.
You start drink that water, you're mad.
But it's a serious topic, though. You guys have to take it serious. Like, we're being serious now.
Water. No,
Like,
no.
If this guy can make cars that run on water, yeah, like we have to take him as a serious guy. He's not a joke, is he? Like, do you know anyone that's got a car that runs on water?
Yeah, there was a Jamaican guy that done that as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah, they did.
That's not good.
There was one Japanese man. Was he Chinese or Japanese man? He was on the news, isn't it? He made one car that ran on force for real. So unless that's the one he's talking about, because I don't bloody know.
Yeah, Honda's got a version of it as well. I think
Honda's got one.
I think if he falls into the wrong hand, that man's a dead man.
Hold on a minute.
At the end of the day.
Hold on a minute. So you man don't respect the sea world.
The what?
The sea world.
The what?
The sea world. SEA world.
Orlando, SeaWorld.
No. What I'm saying is, in the sea, there's an ocean, isn't it? You don't watch film and see underneath. Even if you go, like, look, you do deep sea diving, go and swim. If you go under the sea, you can't go far down as like a submarine. But there's other fishes you've never seen. So you're telling me to use that water to be like, where are you gonna get water from?
Don't worry, there's only per water, man. They got ice caps. They can go. Don't worry about that.
Don't drive up past you. I take that water as well. No, man.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
I'm a rat and I'm not playing around. So
on a serious level, though, yeah, there's holly per water in the world. Yeah, there's one bag of water everywhere. Yeah, like there's a whole ocean. There's oceans. Yeah, there's more than one ocean. Yeah, so
what are you gonna do?
There's 7 seas in them thing there, according to pirates. You know, like that.
Where are you gonna take it from?
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't matter what ocean you take it from. Where are you gonna take the water from?
We can make salt water, fam. All we need is some salt and some water. Shake that up. That's concoction. We're ready to go. Dash that in the tank. Zoom. Like, come on, man.
But software was talking sense though, because you can't just pick up any water, bruv. You can't just pick up any water.
There's gonna be a method, isn't it? There's gonna be a formula. As long as you use the formula, but like, you know, that could be an essential part of life. You know,
but bro, when he was talking about this acidic, you can't just pick up any water from anywhere. You can't just dash. You can't just dash bloody, spring water, like I mentioned before, or like in certain things. It will mess up your system. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Economically, it will end up being the same thing anyway, because what the petrol stations will do is just retrofit and provide you with this special acid water.
That's right.
From them.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
So nothing will change. Don't think like it will be the one you can just go to your kitchen and fill a couple Evian bottles in your car. It definitely won't be that.
Won't happen. That's it.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
Salt water. You can go in Sainsbury's and buy yourself some salt.
You're joking, you know.
Take that up, dude. You're good to go with it. You're good to go. You're brand new. Yeah, you're out there.
You'll be in the same thing, bro. It'll be in the same position because they'll patent the technology or the the process or the chemicals or the whatever, they'll patent it, and companies will control that patent.
That's right.
I hear you, but what I'm trying to say is, the way he broke it down so simple, they couldn't control that pattern because everyone's got salt. I tell you one thing, if I get in anyone's kitchen right now, if there ain't no salt, there's a problem. I'm telling you.
You see, that salt is not the same salt, bro. Do you know what I mean? We're taking the word salt and we're saying, salt is salt. It don't work like that.
The formula for that type of water, will be guarded Like that is the intellectual property in it.
Yeah,
it's all about the formula. So
I agree on that one.
But
so when you don't
Gotta
have
put
the
my little man
formula, you
together.
cannot make the exact same thing.
I'm cutting.
So
Peace out
it
to
won't work.
everybody.
Bless, man.
Love.
Yes,
Big up.
Take
That
care.
part. Yeah, no, I agree. That's right. They will have it. But I feel I understand what he's trying to say. Is just like just educate yourself. If worst comes to worst, if you've got that formula, you know how to gather that information.
Yeah.
Then you can use it. So it is possible that you can. Come on, man. The rules are just made to break anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe
it's a system we live in.
Maybe you be able to find information like that on the deep web or the dark web or whatever, like whatever. But like for the main masses, like it's not going to be free, innit? Let's be real.
No, but they don't want it. And that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, like, end of the day, I don't know. I can't speak for him. That's what I took. Like, he's trying to say, like those who can be fooled, let be fooled in it. Like, that's their business. You know what I mean? It's like some people will go. All right, since we're on that topic of water now, some people will go to Tesco's or Asda's and pick up a lime scale remover for the kettle. But they're awful, in it. Before they just boil up some water and some clear vinegar, half and half, and then it will. And before they just boil up some half clear vinegar and water, boil it up, and it will just disappear. Boom. All right, you save yourself money. Do you know what I mean? But some people will pay that £4 or £5.
What we're saying is, though, yeah, we just need to know what type of salt it is that's needed to be used in the formula, innit? So whether it's Himalayan pink salt, table salt, what type of salt, we need to know. So what we need to do, software, if you're out there, we might need you back at some time so you can explain what type of salt is needed, because if we know the formula, then they can't hide it from us. Then if they try to hijack it, we're going to know exactly what they're doing, isn't it? So it's good to know things.
Yeah, but you see, like, water contains salt. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just knowing the levels of what on that. I forgot what they call it. I should know this. Bloody plumbing. On the the potential hydrogen. So you got on one side, you got the alkaline, you got the other side. It's this we
got this guy who said water is just a fluid. There are many fluids that allow better transference of current.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's talking about transferring energy from one place to another. Long story short.
Yeah. That's it. Like in boilers, for a fact, like they can't just, bruv, you put the wrong water in that, it's gonna skate up and mash up your system.
He said normal salt or sea salt. So if it's just normal salt or sea salt, that's cheap.
Oh, is that what you said? Oh, okay.
We can go down Sainsbury's, mix that up with water. That's concoction. That goes in a tank. Boom, boom. Start up. That's
normal salt. I'm done.
Concoction.
Yeah, but you know the difference between clear water and sea salted water. Like with the sea salted water, because it's naturally.
Even more than that, yeah. Even more than that.
No, that's true.
Ratio.
No, what was the point? What was the point? Wait.
It's also the ratio, innit?
What was the point Torah was making, though? Because
say that again.
Hear you properly. Say that again, please, Torah. Start again, and then you go again, Bank Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what I was saying with the sea salt and the clear water, like sea salt and the salt water and the clear water, they're separate basically. So when you add some salt to the normal clear water, it's not really the same thing. It might just taste a bit saltier, but the salt now of the the salt water now, I think where it's so highly acidic and certain things like that, it carries more particles within the water than the clear water.
Okay.
That's right.
Obviously, does that mean that because what he said is just normal salt or sea salt? So if it's sea salt, like, do we necessarily need the sea salt, or is it just either one? Doesn't really matter. Do you feel where I'm coming from? So
no, because I think
either way, that's the point I was making. either way, there'll still be the ratio of salt to water in it. Even if you're gonna get Saxo salt from Sainsbury's and Evian water to make your own car petrol or whatever, yeah, there's still gonna be a ratio to it. Are you gonna be doing that all the time? Like,
yeah, obviously that's the whole point in a formula, isn't it? And like you'd have like you might have some apparatus that already like you just like fill up a cartridge, bang, it just does it for you. I don't know, but you know, and then the point of it is that you know it will be cheaper to run my car on water than it is to run it on petrol. And if they've got a formula where you can run your car on water, then why ain't we got one already? Why is it only now we're hearing about what's the thing? Electric power cars and stuff, and all of this cars that drive themselves, basically
they've got
drones.
a formula to run your car on petrol. Why don't you have that already?
That's a good point.
I think that there's one country I think that could run their vehicles on coconut oil as well.
No, but we already have petrol cars. I think you've missed the point. The point is, yeah, like we already have petrol cars. Petrol costs a lot of money in it. Yeah, the budget for petrol is stupid. Yeah, if you look at the amount of money people spend on petrol every day. Yeah, so obviously we understand these companies want their money in it. Let's be honest. But the fact of the matter still remains: a car can run on salt water or just like electrical energy and make it much more fuel efficient.
Mash it up, man. When you think about it, look, bro, there's certain waters that's permanently hard water, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't just go. You can't just go and say you're gonna go and drink seawater, bro. Like, you're dead. It's just not gonna happen. Your car corrode, bro.
I wouldn't subscribe to drinking any seawater or any type of river water or, you know, any type of, you know, lake or stream waters. I wouldn't subscribe to it myself, but I know there are people who do subscribe to it. So I'm not going to disrespect the fact that, you know, some people, they see certain things as sacred, isn't it? Or whatever they see.
I don't know about anyone who drinks seawater, though.
It's really it depends how you're looking at it. If we're gonna do water through electrical way, then maybe it might be a bit complicated. But with the water to power a car, maybe all you have to do is switch over the different type of components, basically, like and use more, I don't know, like some different type of material to make sure the water can run through, but basically, because all petrol does is lubricate the engine.
Yeah, definitely. And at the end of the day, everything is a process. So right now we're just theorizing and listening to what a man's saying, but obviously, you know, like if it's possible,
he's trying to educate himself on it, and he's, you know what I mean, he's looking in. Like, no one has the answers in it.
No, but we pulled up articles, we pulled up Wikipedia. So
yeah, you can do that all day
out there for cars that run on water. There's a sport that runs on water. Yeah,
but like you did mention, no matter what you get, it's like we mentioned with the CERN. He said that the information given on it is limited. Like they like to keep things like it's a big secret. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like tapping in. Do you go and say you have to?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay, is that Fraser talking?
Yeah.
Hold on. One sec.
You might need to turn your mic up, you know, or get closer to your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Definitely, that's much better.
Yes, but I was thinking, bro, like long term though, if the economy was filled with cars running on water, yeah, wouldn't that be worse off than the current solution that we have at the minute?
Why did you say that?
Oh shit!
Oh, what did you
Huh?
Yeah, why do you say that? Why do you think it would be worse?
Because water doesn't leave the earth, right? It just evaporates and then recycles and then comes back, right?
Yeah.
So are we not contaminating our water supply if we're having it going through all these metals and all these injections and all these other things?
I wouldn't really say that that's really much of an issue because obviously when the water turns back into steam, you know, it's going back into its chemical form, into a gas form, basically. Yeah. So it's cleansing itself at the same time. Just like if you had a steam train versus a coal train, you know, you're probably better off. Like, what a steam train is the coal train, isn't it? Which one's the steam train again?
No, steam is
train and electric, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even know. All I know is, really and truthfully, you know, water is something, like you said, that replenishes itself. That's the basis that I'm saying it would be cheaper on, you know, and plus the fact that, you know, what the man's pointed out is that it's just salt water, you know. So if it's just salt water, then, you know, it can't be that difficult for everyone to be able to get some salt water.
No, I don't think you're getting it, bro. It's not really. If that's what my man's saying, I don't.
Well, someone's put in the comments, it's not a secret. They showed a water power car on Top Gear years ago. And obviously, like I said, the way, like from what I was taking from what Software was saying, the way he was talking is that this isn't something that's new. This is something that's been there for a while. But how long of a while? Do you know, like that? So why isn't that been put into production? You know, if it's going to make life easier and better for people.
I'm not too sure if this might happen though, but say for instance everybody had like a water power car and all the steam was going up into the sky, would it make more rain then?
Yeah, it might make more rain, but you know, we live in UK anyway, we get a lot of rain, man. Big up to Gully and Co. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Keep leaving your questions and comments.
Yo, Shift.
Yeah,
that's my point. Like, if the car is using water, right? Like, water doesn't go anywhere. So right now, you know what I mean? It's bad enough. Like, you know what I mean? In London, for example, it's cloudy every day. You see what I'm saying? If there's more steam going into the clouds every day around London, it's going to make it worse for us, isn't it?
No, man.
No, I don't think so.
No. I think we're taking it a bit too extreme with the steam. You say it's going to be making more steam and it's going to start raining. You think of it. It's when you look at the carbon monoxide that's coming from that car, people smoking with carbon. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different kind of fumes. There's so many different pollution, bro. Like, it's not. We're taking it a bit too far fetched. When we look at it now, we have to. I don't have the answer, like I said to you, but we can go off by the guidelines. Yeah, the fact that we are made from the earth, we have minerals, we have salt, we have everything that the earth has. It's a very smart vessel. It will cleanse itself. Do you know what I mean? Trust me. It sends water. If you think of it, have you not noticed that how different countries have different climates to here? The planet's a smart thing. You understand? So end of the day, I don't think we qualify to. We're not on that level of understanding the earth on what it can do to that level. Like, we underestimate.
Sorry, 360. Can I get everyone to hit the like button? And to everyone who's in the chat, if you've not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, hit the like, leave a comment. If you've got any questions, leave some questions so the guys can answer some questions for you. And yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but I just wanted to just make everyone feel welcome.
No, that's blessed. That's blessed. But that's the whole thing. Like, I think we underestimate the earth. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't. The man said you can just go and get salt from Asda's. Like, I don't. Do you know? I'm a bit skeptical of that one. Seeing is, you know, like seeing is believing. Like, okay, but I think I'll get where hard software was saying was basically, you know, look, these are how they're kind of running this thing now. We should be looking into it and educating ourselves on how to you know, get that formula. Because once we've got it, away we go. We can sit here all day.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that can help the community, that can help people. Useful things that, you know, we've been able to learn about within society, and you know.
Fraser said he still thinks electric is the best option, though, and I agree.
Why do you not think electric is still the best option? Talk to us.
Because there's no pollution whatsoever.
What's that?
there's no pollution whatsoever with electric.
What about radiation?
Yeah, but there's radiation everywhere anyway.
Well, you think we can't have electric pollution then?
Yeah, but think about it, like some of these electric cars what we have today, like people sitting on top of batteries like free like for 2 years straight, just minicab driving and things like that. It must have some sort of medical effects afterwards, I would feel.
You see, but some people will have a different view and say that, well, then people are kind of suicidal because they're sitting on something. If it goes wrong, your lights are out, gone, dead. Do you know what I mean? How many thousands of...
The same thing with just a manual car, though.
Exactly. Normal car.
Yeah, like a normal car, you can say the same thing.
Besides, if it's about sitting on batteries, they can just design it better, innit?
Yeah.
Design. Do you know what I mean? Improve the design on it. But I just think all these, I just think when I don't know personally, I just think when humans try to sort of use the natural earth to sort of solve our problems, it just comes back to us, mate. You know what I mean?
I hear you, but in the same respect though, you know, I think, you know, if we look at what's going on now with the pollution that's going up into the air now, that's all mixing with the rain, all of this carbon and, you know, smoke and stuff, you know.
That's right,
so if it was just water being used, you know, that's the only thing that's mixing with the rain.
That's why electricity makes sense, bro. There's none of
I
get the point with the radiation. Yeah, but there's negatives in everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like a problem that needs to be solved. You know what I mean?
Have any of you lot been on the new London buses, the electric one, in the summertime?
No.
Yeah. I think I went on a tour. I think 122.
Hello.
We got software back, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought I'd come back just for a little bit because, you know, I want to eat some food, but right now I hear you need the information, man. I am actually sitting there listening to you while I'm doing my work. So, you know, let me just answer some of these questions.
Before you go, can you answer the question in the chat? Yeah. Someone says, question, does anybody know about the comet Atlantis in the atmosphere? This comet was discovered by NASA in December and will be at its closest to the Earth on the 27th and 28th of April.
Lies. That was discovered in the atmosphere back in 1997. That's the whole reason why they took it off the news, and then they decided to make a film so it distracts everybody. They made a film. What was it? Armageddon and Deep Impact in 1 year. Fact.
Okay.
Anyone can dig and check it out. Yeah. So by the next solar eclipse, which is probably due in 2026. Then you'll see something pass, but we don't know. It could even pass by now. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not in control of that vortex mass that's governing us. Do you know what I mean? It's bigger than
all right, yes. So basically, the comment which she's asking about is the same comment which they talk about in a lot of these books. Yeah, they say it's supposed to come either this year towards the end of April.
That's what 360 just said. It's like the same comment they talk about in the movies.
Or it's going to be coming between 2026 to 2028. This is literally the destruction of man. So as they said, it's predicted we're going to get the chip in our hand, and then the mark in our hand, the mark on our forehead, and the 666. And after all of that, we'll get the plagues, the flood, and war. Then eventually we'll get destroyed. You know, in hindsight, we don't know what's going to destroy us.
Where were you getting information
that's
from?
not where we're going right now. Let's focus on your water battery. Let's focus on that right now.
I'll quickly answer that for you.
You went a bit in a direction that we wasn't expecting there, but obviously, you know, you feel free to say whatever you feel like saying. No one feel like
I'm only referring back to articles and information that I've read, so anybody can go and look these things up, you know. And the meteorite, again, you'd have to look it up as a reference in a holy book. Other people might think it's Planet X, which is Nibiru, but again, let's go back to the water theory. You know, what it is. Yes, anyone can make electricity from water. But the problem is it's not very efficient. You could use it. It might make it rain, it might not. But again, because it evaporates, it goes back into the atmosphere, it's clean. Yeah, so what's only coming out of the exhaust pipe will be water vapor. It's not anything to do with the process of the electricity, because it doesn't leave anything apart from maybe burn a couple of oxygen particles here and there and increase the potential of current that's coming out. Now, you're probably thinking it's just water. There are other types of fluids which could probably do the same thing. Again, when I said something which was acidic, that's a type of liquid. Something that's alkaline, that's still a type of liquid, but it's lost all of its positive charge. Yeah. You know, there's
a point
metals.
that was raised earlier. The water has to be very light, because petrol is very light. Water is heavy.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true,
water is dense. Water is dense. That's the whole point. But again, a tree is heavy, but it floats on water. So how does that work?
At the end of the day, the water is like there's more water than there's land. So at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's like the gentleman who said it before. You know, has anyone been on a bus?
There isn't
has anyone been on a
more
bus
water than there is
in the
land.
summer? One of them electric bus, yeah. Follow me on it, yeah. Wherever he was going with it, what I'm saying is, you have to take everything into account. Like, you can't, like, a person driving, you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna run my car and drive around in lowriders for all day in the sun. That's mad, stupid, bro. Like, for miles, like, that's just dumb. Like,
no,
there's different tires.
What it is, and I'll get it.
So
I'll get it clear for you. Yeah. So yes, water is one of the properties. So if you look at the human body, for instance, you have your bones, which is a frame. You got your lungs, which is a pump. Your heart, again, is a pump and a motor. Your brain is a computer sending off electrical current. Then you've got your nerves, which sends back signals. All of these things, when you really look at it, is a machine that you can put back in something that would work in mechanics. So, but your body doesn't
qualify for it.
Hold on. Your body doesn't just work off water. There are other things it needs.
Your software. Can you explain to us? Talk to us about the water, because that's what I think caught my attention. I think that might have caught a few other people's attention. So,
sure, because you mentioned the body, and most of the body is made up of water anyway. So,
well,
you have to take everything into account.
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. But when you're looking at a process, you have to realize there is more than one thing that applies to the process. We need nourishment, so we eat food and we drink. You can't just live off food, because you'll get thirsty. You can't just live off drink.
But how are we going to run a car that's running off water and salt from Asda's?
Yeah, but it's not just water and salt. Some of the materials that you may need are very poisonous and dangerous to the human body if not handled properly. You could, what type of acid is there? Sulfuric acid. That's very potent, but if you breathe it in or touch it, it's very dangerous for you. It can kill you. Again,
we're getting you. So there could be a formula that someone has to put together, in a laboratory rather than in the kitchen or in the garage.
It's not a laboratory. These are natural things, the elements that you can find on the earth.
Yeah, but it's true. It's like what Herb said earlier.
Please listen, because there are mountains and caves full of sulfuric acid where the gases have been trapped. There are lakes full of these things. You got in the ground, you got gold, silver, and mercury. Mercury is a type of liquid metal which is still able of passing current through it. So there are different processes to use just the basic elements to do these things, but you still have to apply the basic principles. You need a load, you need something to put it in, and something to transfer it.
All right, we all need to know. Is it possible, and is it possible on a more economic basis than what the principle we're using petrol on? Then, because if it's more economical than petrol, and you know it's something that can be put together quite cheaply, then why isn't it being used?
Is it more economical than petrol?
That's interesting.
It will become more economical if we start using the technology, because as you know, the more you use things, the cheaper it becomes, because you find better ways of processing it and quicker ways of processing it. So yes, it will become cheaper, but currently no, because only a few people know how to do it, and in order to mass produce it for all the people to use it, it's going to cost a lot of money. And the most for the people
it's like what Bank Boy said. But it's like what Bank Boy said though. You know, they're gonna
basically
have that.
yes.
They're gonna turn around and they're gonna turn around and they're gonna own that. Like you gotta go through there, they're gonna tax it, they're gonna make it a revenue. You're not gonna have that. They're gonna make sure you're gotta go through them. Fact. We live in a system. It's systematic. So it's
of course it's systematic, because
so we can't just say that we can take a bit of water and salt and then say to make this. Yes, our body has these salt, but no white salt is good for you. Facts. We take it out of we take it a bit far fetched. Like there's salts in fruits and veg. Like there's different.
Yeah, but it's not the same type of salt.
No. Hold on. Let me just finish. Like what we've done in the system that we live in, we take bits and pieces so that people can become addicted to certain things, because anything that's not good for you, people like.
Of course.
You understand? Your body like. We don't know how to make a human body. So the fact that we got minerals and calcium and zinc and iron and copper, all this and that, we don't qualify.
Hold on, wait a second. Let me go back and question you. What makes to say that you don't know how to make a human body?
Say that again.
What makes to say that you don't know how to make a human body? Because you could probably make the body, but you can't give it breath.
Bro,
there's a difference in what I'm saying. You could probably make the vessel.
We don't know how to make that. Like we don't. It's already been there. We can't turn around and try and forge something that's already been there. It's already been made. So because we're not Chinese, bro. Like this is they replicate everything. Yeah. Like they copycat everything. That's not a person making it.
But that's probably your own personal opinion. Because
no, of course it's always everyone on here is just opinions, isn't it? But
yeah, but I don't live in China to make that preference.
Table salt is not neutral.
Yeah. Say that again.
Yeah, can you please repeat that, please?
Panero's mind has put in the chat room. Table salt is not neutral.
Go on.
No, and the thing is, what I was trying to explain to you, salt absorbs moisture. You know,
big up to Panero.
The stronger or purer the salt, the better the transfer of your process. So again, you can't just use any salt because it's been refined down.
He meant to say natural, not neutral.
Yeah, no, natural salt. No, you can't. You can use naturals because it's a rock. A rock in its purest form, you can use that. You find them in sea beds, the crystals around, but to get proper ones is so hard to find them. You know, so it's not just your normal table salt that's been processed, it's had things put in and extracted. You're not really going to get a good process from that. Whereas if you go to the beach and you might chip off some sea salt that you find, you probably get a better process than the one that you get in the shop.
Yeah, but you did kind of mention earlier about any salt or sea salt.
Yeah, so sea salts, again, the reason why I say that is because the process is deionized water. It's normally known as deuterium. So basically it has more hydrogen particles than it has oxygen particles.
Oh, brother, you did say table salt or sea salt though a bit earlier.
I've seen
it's salt, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is the process. So to you, it's like but it's just sea salt. No, when you're deionizing something, when you're taking out either more oxygen or you're putting in more hydrogen, you're adding or taking away, which is a process. Hence why I'm saying
no. To me, I didn't say that. Like earlier on, I said that to I think it was herbs, and I was saying that there's different salts. Like
there are different qualities of salt. And again, there's different qualities of water, like someone was saying before. But you're not going to use normal water, and you're not going to use standard
and I think that's what Bank Boy was trying to put forward, is that when they get the formula, in the day they're gonna stamp that. like clamp it, you're gonna have to go through me. Yeah, I'll tax that. Like,
Well, you can go to the beach right now. I'm pretty sure you can either walk, drive, ride, or find a way.
Beach sea water, yeah, it's not the same beach sea water that's in Antarctic or you know, the Indian Ocean or Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean. Do you get what I mean? It's not the same, bro.
A second, hold on 1 second, yeah, because I was interested in what Fraser was saying. He was saying that it doesn't make sense having a car that runs on water. It would make more sense to just have electric cars. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, but then how do you make it? You're gonna have to have some way to generate electricity. Like I was explaining when I was talking about the battery, even if you have a motor which is alternating current, you still have to store it in something. Otherwise, you're gonna blow up.
Nah, I like that one. What's his name? Fraser said still, car. What do you think of it, bro? Like, look, end of the day, the electric's the way, isn't it? Like, it is kind of the way.
Yeah,
and you're right. Like, you have to generate the electric. Like, obviously, you need the water to do it, and something vortex that's spinning to produce it. Yeah, obviously. Like, do you know what I mean? But
yeah, software.
Yeah, no, go on. I'm listening. Please.
Yeah, it's Fraser. It's Fraser. Listen, bro, I was thinking as well, bro. Like you haven't even factored it. Well, I don't know if you have or not, but you got to factor in like the cost of producing and miming and transporting all these stuff just to make. Do you know what I mean? Whereas electric, the infrastructure is already set up for that. Do you see what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, but that took years. All of these things that you're talking about didn't just happen overnight. These took 10, 15, maybe 100 years of planning and development, and then improving the infrastructure that you have, because maybe something new has come up. If I come up with something new right now, I guarantee within the next 5 or 10 years, I would have improved it, because that's what I'm going to do. So to start with something that is entirely new, you got to factor in that people have to get used to it. Are you going to do it for financial gain, or are you giving it away? Then you got to look at those who are opposing you, because you're now competition.
Life is competition, my brother.
Yeah.
But just to make it clear, you still need other things to increase the potential. So it's not just water. As I said, you do need other things like copper. You need magnets, which will actually help increase the current, you know, and you need something.
The coppers might cost 1 pence, 2 pence.
Copper's okay, and it's actually not too bad with water, because it actually gives back something which is called patina. It's like gangrene, and you know, we all know that anything which is living or giving off green is producing back oxygen. So it's actually a healthy thing, to be honest.
But I still think there's unintended consequences of that, though, mate. Because I think, like what you said, if you're engineering something, bro, like that's what you're doing. You're engineering something, innit? It's like,
there is potential damage.
You're exactly, and you're exploring the unknown, shall we say? Do you know what I mean? So
put it this way: we drink water. We're 70% water. So I'm pretty sure if you're going to touch electricity, it's bad for your body. You know, so to have something which is around you, potentially allowing more transference of current to your body so that you're getting a shock, or maybe even a worse shock, then that's something that you have to consider. And again, water does have a mass, you know, so if you got a whole car full of it, you can't just fly off at top speed. You're still going to have a limit to how much you can go. Don't get me wrong, you might be able to compete with some of these good cars now, because they're losing a lot of potential because they're burning something, whereas you're recycling it. But there's still something that could be better, which may have less mass, but give back the same potential or more. So there's still more to discover in the field when it comes to energy.
Yeah.
No, but I was, and I have over the last 3 days, I don't know who's been listening, I have been pointing out things which go together, you know, and I'll say it now. One of them, which I've already said, is water, but it has to be of a certain quality. Another one is mercury, you know, but everyone knows mercury is poisonous. but if handled correctly, it can generate current quite a lot in unpractical ways, which may be scary. But the whole point of it is these things are out there, but they don't tell you about them. We make natural energy from burning waste food, bioproducts. They're using it now, but when it was spoken before, only farmers did it, and they was dawned on because of the smell and the process. But there's better ways of purifying things now. So we've come a long way. We are not cavemen as much as people want to think we're in that prehistoric age. You know, we are falling behind because of the people standing in front of us saying, well, no, I don't really think the world's ready for this yet, or I don't want you to do that because it's not really going to gel well with the business and my business partners, and we kind of run the board at the moment. So you have to look at it from so many different aspects. Unless you're all going to fly off to another country and agree as a people that you're going to work together to help build prosperity there and have a better goal, that's the only way you're going to do it. And you're still going to have oppressors because you're still going to find someone who's selfish.
I mean, I agree. Things take. I do agree. Like things does. It's a process. Everything takes time. Like whether it's a long period of time or short period of time, but it's down to, you know, the individual. Do you know what I mean? And how they look at it.
You have to look at it like this. You're gonna want to make a change. You can't make a change for today.
But you see, like with all that mercury and all that, I think they would have, if they could, like you just mentioned, you can probably, if it goes into the right hands, falls into the right hands.
Germans brought that up in World War II. Like, you better go and look at your history.
Yeah, you
were
look
buying
at
that
mercury, yeah, mercury is highly dangerous, bro. Like just in contact with it. Like even patina, you just mentioned patina. You have to remember, bro. That like on my course, on my plumbing course, we learn about that, but they don't really use it that much. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it can be
basically patina is a build-up of oxidization of water with copper. You know.
Yeah, but that can be poisonous though.
It can be poisonous.
So that's what I'm trying to say, bro. But it may look nice because of the colors it forms, but it's not.
Yeah, but you're not understanding what I was trying to get you to understand. Patina is still an organic substance. Most green and organic substances give off a process which allows oxygen. Trees do it. Plants actually do it. So if you're in a chamber and you're recycling water and there's nowhere for it to escape, eventually you're going to use up all the properties in the water and you're going to have to replace it. But if you have something in there putting back some of the properties, the duration of it is extended. So it's not always a bad thing, but it's not how are you going to clean it to get the best out of it? And this is what we're still learning now.
Yeah, but I think that's what Fraser was saying. It's like, you know, he's using the water. It might be a bad look because it's same with that. Like, yeah, I get it. It's got atmospheric, you know, elements and things like that, bro, with all the oxygen in that. But at the end of the day, they've already named things like dermatitis and things like that. They've already.
Yeah, but why are they naming it?
This is going to have a backlash.
Are you all right? Watch this.
Yo, software. I think we've lost you there for a minute. You know, brother.
I think he lost. I think he's gone. But end of the day, that's the same. It's just like, look, no one's got the answer. And it's just not just us, you know. It's like, you know, global scale. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the vast majority. Do you get what I'm saying? I think Pinero made points that were, you know.
If all cars drive these fumes of smoke coming out, you're crazy.
Say that again.
Shiffa.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Put up on the screen.
I'm back now.
The effects of steam in the steam engine era. Let's find out what that said.
If you're talking about burning coal, coal is just carbon dioxide, but they weren't very fast. You couldn't get a lot out of them. But then again, we've improved on steam engines now. So if we went back to it, it would be a big improvement of the past.
But bruv, they men are right though, because when you think of it, you got erosion is a form of like corrosion, bruv. and too much steam. It's not good. It's just like
There's
certain electrical waves in water, yeah, that causes corrosion. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it sounds good in theory, but in practical, it's like no. They would have done that from a long time.
High process of electricity causes corona. That's
say that again. Say that again.
High processes of electricity causes corona. So a lot of these people who do the installations of the cables and poles and the electric posts, some of them actually eventually can get corona, especially if they've broken their arm and they get corona.
No, I hear you, but what I'm saying is it's still a form of corrosion. Like
yeah, so it's poison to your body. Yeah, of course.
You get what I'm saying? So if you have that in your boiler, it's lattice, curtains, lights out. So you got a thing in there that they have, like, what they call it? I should know this. This is really bad. This is bad. They got like that's it. Yeah, sorry. It's called what is it called? It's called a sacrificial anode or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what
the cylinder. Yeah, that creates that draws in all that sulfur, all the it's like you got a magnetic magnesium rod, yeah, and it draws in all certain elements to it,
so it can interact with it.
Yeah, bro. So you have to look at it like, you know.
Yeah, but all right, name an application right now which has been made which is not got a dangerous side to it. You can't.
That's that sting that comes up.
Yeah. Look at a knife or a fork. A knife or a fork we use every day, you can cut your hand with it, but it's still a practical thing. You got a car transports you, but you know what? It's a ticking time bomb. Same with a plane, it's a ticking time bomb. So you're talking about all of these things, but majority of them are actually quite dangerous, and you're not fully aware of it.
Way too much.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Let's have a look.
We were supposed to be keeping it to him like we're trying to minimize it though, ain't it?
Well, I don't know.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but when you came onto the show, you turned around and you said, you know, this is what people could be doing and making up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like
you can actually do that. So I'm not saying it's impossible.
Hold on, let me finish. Like what you say like make our own batteries and this and that and own energy. And if it falls into the wrong hand, like you said, then it's kind of like a contradiction, isn't it? Because it's like if it falls into the wrong hand, they might just blow up your house or your block. Do you know what I mean? Like
with everything, you're taught responsibility.
Let me say this. I suppose people can make their own things, innit? As long as you got the resources to do it, innit? Like some people build their own cars.
Yeah.
But they don't like maybe some of them have the refinery to make their own petrol to run their cars. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But at least if you want to make your own petrol, you have to have your own refinery, innit?
Or if you ain't got your own refinery, you know the information how to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's a refinery in your garage. The scale doesn't matter. Whether it's the one you put up together yourself in your garage because you have all the books and all the techniques and
you're still doing
it. Yeah, it's still a refinery.
Guys, 1 second. Are you all seeing the screen share? Because from what I'm reading here, you know, one of the main issues is going to be how the steam is produced and what you're using to heat it. Now, obviously, if we're going to go by old statistics from a world that was powered by steam, they were burning fossil fuels. Yeah,
which we're doing now.
All right,
but then that now,
obviously, if there's a way to burn the water without burning fossil fuels, then that does kind of tip the balance of the scales of quite.
Course,
but are you always fossil fuel?
No. But if you're listening to what I'm trying to say, you're not actually burning the water. Yeah, you can make an electric current just having magnet and wrapping coils of copper around it. Yeah, that will give a small current. That alone is some sort of electricity. If you've got a generator, like I said,
in that case,
you transfer it.
You just said it then. Why don't we just go with electricity?
No, but how do you make electricity? You're thinking that electricity just comes out of thin air. Yes, it is in the atmosphere, but you have to process it somehow. You burn a fuel or you generate it with alternating current.
To be honest, yeah, I get where you're coming from. If I'm going by the textbook, if I'm going by there where you're teaching me, yeah, like go to school and yeah, this is how it's made. I don't know, bruv. Someone mentioned here earlier, I don't know the name of the person. I think it was a message, and they say, "Oh, does anyone know about the comet that's circling around in the solar system?" Now, that could be giving off electric currency itself while we got certain weathers. Facts.
No, it gives off cosmic radiation.
If you look at it, we got the sun, and people say, "Yeah, the sun's burning." We don't know if that sun's really on fire. We just know that it's an energy source, and it's probably the effects it's giving. That's why we're like, well, it's hot because of what it's doing to us. You get what I'm saying? It's like
the process. The process is doing.
It's like a reaction kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's what it's called. So
we can create electricity, through various forms. Yeah. So we've got
that's true. Yeah.
We've got hydroelectricity. So that's water in itself. So that's
solar.
Hydro. We've got solar, and then we've
wind
got
turbine.
Wind turbine. Exactly. So in theory, why don't we just make a car?
You've got radiation. You've got cosmic. There's so many.
Yeah, that's a good one.
At the end of the day, I could tell you
by wind, bro.
That's a good one.
It creates electricity, and that's it. It's wind.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Yeah, but again, if you make a car with wind, once you I did a bit of aerospace and I did mechanical engineering. Yeah, you have to understand with aerodynamics, if you're not processing how you're converting that energy while keeping your car while keeping your car aerodynamic, you're going to fly and go boom into some type of
I don't know, but you did actually say software about with CERN and they're using gravity. That's probably the closest thing to gravity then when you think about it. So it could be actually wind could be actually a good way to make the electric.
Hold on, what CERN is trying to do is actually gain energy from zero energy, which is from light particles, to understand the process of how things are made at a smaller level than light, which is photons. It's the design problems, like you said. Once you know how to manipulate light, there's no more need for these heavy objects processing. There's potential which is getting lost. It's unnecessary.
Let's just agree then that wind, the wind idea is better than this salt water idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Someone's put in the comments. One brother made a car that runs on biofuel. What's biofuel?
Biofuel, fuel from like vegetate from
plant life, photosynthesis, basically.
Yeah. That's what Ernst was talking about earlier. He said, "Now, bro, we're taking away we need that for food, isn't it?"
No, but not really, because everything
bro,
has photosynthesis.
We need fruits,
and at the end of the day, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna squeeze all the lime out, dig out all the insides, and eat the skin. You're telling me you eat everything and the seed.
Yeah. We blend it. Yeah, blend it.
And don't go to waste.
Check it like this. Yeah, you have to understand. Like remember, them seeds they grow to be whatever it is, the lemon or the watermelon and whatever. You understand? That's where the goodness is come from. So it's how you process it. You see what I'm saying now? But because we are
you don't need to
not
use
you,
everything.
not you, but as a humanity, because we're so thoughtful, they put. You look how they put all the glucose and all this rubbish. What's that thing with that pig thing that they use, man, to keep it sticky or whatever, like sweets and shit like that. Whatever they use. Let's just say they use so many things, that you don't even bloody need. It's the same thing with the fruits, bro. Yeah, of course, I like that. I blend it all.
You're talking gelatin.
Yeah, the gelatin. That's it. I don't really exercise that.
But there's different types of gelatin. You've got gelatin made from vegetables. You've got mainly most of the ones are made from
let's
pork.
just pull it down to this. Let's just say the pig then. So we just do that just for argument's sake, because I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not even trying to go against what you're saying. I'm just saying there's certain things as human we do not qualify for. So it's like with CERN, and you mentioning they're trying to go something that's traveling faster than light. and you know, from the atoms, from the neutrinos and rare. Look, fam, if you look at it, yeah, gravity, is it real? Do you know what I mean? Is it even there? Like, do you know what I mean? We have to look at the facts that, look, there's levels to this, innit? You can't just say you got a car and you run it off salt and
there's
water.
levels to this, but when you really look at it, everything can be broken down into the basic elements. That's, you know, light, water, electricity, wind, you know, sound.
Someone posted up some are these elements here aspartame and asulfate K. I don't know what that is. Talk to us.
I heard about asulfate K. I don't really know about all the others though. I don't. That should be beyond my knowledge. Ain't that widen, to be honest here. You probably know software guy.
The software guy is up himself. I'm up myself. Oh wow. Okay, fair enough.
Someone said that ages ago. Don't worry too much about the comments. Let's more focus on the questions and, you know, the bits of information within the comments. Like, people are gonna say.
No, I think we should respond to the comments as well and let software like defend himself. If a guy says like he's up himself, let software defend himself.
I'm sure software is more grown up than that. He's not trying to defend himself against anything because he's not under any type of attack. But big up to everyone in the chat room.
But the guy is watching the show and he has an opinion and he thinks from wherever, you know, he's thinking or he's heard that software is up himself. So software should just make things clear then, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he doesn't have to though.
Heard you, but that's not.
He doesn't have to. It's like the gentleman. He's allowed to have an opinion, but no one has to respond.
It's not that type of show. At the end of the day, sorry, can I just stop you for a second?
With that person.
Can I stop you for a second, please? Like, I don't know what's going on here, but like the show's not that type of show. Like, people are going to leave comments, we just move on. You know, we deal with the intricate information.
Yeah. That's it.
We're not here to offend no one. People are allowed to have opinions. Someone might think
sure.
They might.
No, that's real.
That's life. Let's just
listen. In reality, you're gonna get people that like what I say or don't like what I say, or don't like how I present things, or like how I present it. That's just
that's what I'm talking about. That answer you just gave is simply what I'm talking about. You just said it. Simple. That, you know, that's a response. That's what I'm saying.
But moving forward, though,
remember, like, it's real people that's watching these shows, isn't it? So
for sure.
Human beings. So you just go like acknowledge that he's put something forward, and you just respond to it. It doesn't have to be a long thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to.
No, I already have. Like I said, you know, that's their opinion. That's fine. I'm not.
Yeah,
it's not really going to bother me. That's fine.
He doesn't. Yeah, that's it. He doesn't have to. Like, but differently, the CERN thing. Like someone did mention before.
Sorry, lads. Can we just welcome everyone in the chat room as well? We've got Don Stewart in the chat room. He's left a few comments. He seems to be here with us. So if we can just say hello to Don Stewart in the back in the chat room.
Big up. Bless. Yeah.
We're just going to continue where we left off. Sorry, lads. Sorry.
Yeah,
no problem. I will say, look, based on if there's anything that people have a problem with, please leave it in the comments. You know, please make suggestions. I don't know everything. Yeah, I can only tell you what I've gathered information on so far. You know, and the the principles of applying energy or getting new energy processes is simple in some terms, but it's not straightforward. There are so many different processes to get the same result. It's just which one is the better or best result that you prefer. You know, some people don't mind burning fossil fuels, where other people who like nature would be against it. So we have to come to some common ground.
Mind your business. That's the one way.
I like what software said there, though, because it sounds sensible. It sounds like, you know, he's thought it through and thought about, you know, the type of position he'd be in if he wanted to try and do something along the lines of water-powered car, or, you know, if we're going to stick to electric, like Fraser said, because it could be more economical. Like we said, there's already an infrastructure for it, but how much does that infrastructure cost, and how much are they going to charge us before we can utilize it for ourselves?
I mean, I agree on that, because end of the day, it's like we're trying to fight. It's kind of like looking out for everybody. Like, look, man, they're trying to suppress us, and who are they? I'm just saying, whoever they are, yeah. and to try and make people's life easier. Yeah, it's a good narrative. It's a good law. But it's theory, innit? It's theory, innit? It's in theory, you know, innit? Like practically, why isn't it taking place?
What do you think though, Fraser? Like as far as you saying that the electric car, you think it would be better for the environment and you know the rest of it. Can you see everything going that way then in the future? Is that what you're kind of hinting towards?
Yeah, I just think sort of everything sort of integrating. Do you know what I mean? As the electric car is part of everything else that's integrating. Do you know what I mean? And that's why we're getting this 5G stuff. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not that I'm disagreeing with you know what software was saying. It's just that I just think I don't know. We found a solution that humanity is accepted. I think. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's gone a bit too far though. Because we don't really know the levels of it. That's the thing. That's why there's an uproar of it now.
In what sense?
Well, the people are trying to lick down the 5G things everywhere, here and there. Do you know what I mean? People have been complaining about the radiation and
I wouldn't
dabble.
I mean, to be honest, I was referring more to electric than 5G. I was just using 5G as sort of an analogy. You know
I just said that in the open. I just said that like this. It's just a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That electric. Well, my point is that electric isn't really totally the solution, though. That we don't really fully know. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we don't. To be honest, it's an experiment. To be honest with you, right. But I just think it's commonly accepted.
I think it's more of an action. I think they're actually taking it. It's affirmative. It's affirmative. It's that they've put it in motion.
But it's still experimental. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's even though they're putting it in action, it's still experimental.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's always room for improvement and learning. Yeah, for sure.
Of course. I mean, of course, there's radiation in the environment, and these are problems that need to be solved. But I don't know. I just think like people have accepted that this is probably the best way forward, as opposed to trying to use natural elements to sort of serve our purpose.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because
I think when humans start messing around with natural elements, it always goes wrong because there are things we don't know. You know
but then, Fraser, could it not be argued though that when using the electric cars, we're still messing around with frequencies and different types of parts of the environment? So it have equally bad effects.
Of course, bro. Of course, but when the sort of our actions are sort of outputting other things that contribute to the environment, that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? Whereas yes, electric does. There are elements of frequencies and that sort of stuff that we're not fully aware of yet. You know what I mean? But I think those are problems that we can solve through growth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing where you're coming from there.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas trying to sort of use the environment to serve our needs, it's only going to keep causing us problems, I think.
We're surrounded by electricity.
Exactly. We're surrounded by electricity. Do you know what I mean? So, but I just think electric is obviously it's a human creation, so it's a human thing that can be manipulated.
It's not a human creation.
But even the word manipulate is right. Even manipulating itself, bruv, that is still a negative. See, it's how it's used. A person can make a hammer and build a house, like to use as a tool to build a house, and you can use it to lick a man down. So at the end of the day, I think it's the mindset. I think as long as we're talking systematically, there's always going to be problems.
Can we hear from Software again? Because I think Software wanted to give us some information in response to what Fraser was saying.
In response to what you're saying, we didn't create electricity. It's been here from before. Even without us making any electrical devices, you still had thunderstorms.
Yeah, but we had to manipulate it, bro.
Yeah, so you're talking about manipulating it.
Use it, bro.
Yeah, so the process has always improved, and we're always going to try and improve. Hence why we're looking at different ways to process power. Power is just another way to get some type of electricity or some type of energy. And most of them is converted into electricity, which is transferable. Before we never had electricity, it was just either hydro or coal, which wasn't very friendly. So yeah, you are right. We're only going to improve.
Fraser, what did Fraser, what you saying about manipulate? Was that, I didn't quite fully catch that part.
No, I just said John Software was saying that electricity has always been there, but I said
no, yeah, I heard that, but
yeah,
what you said.
I just said we had to manipulate it to be able to use it.
You see, that's what I'm trying to say. Or maybe it's just everybody has their own way of processing things. You see that the word manipulate, it's a negative. So the fact that we have to manipulate something to do good, that's wrong.
With the example of
It's only gonna make wrong.
To make the hammer, you have to manipulate metal.
Yeah, Matt was saying something. Hold on.
Like I kind of get where you're coming from, like on a general connotation, but it's not the same language. It's just jargon in.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. It's not jargon because what it is, it's
jargon.
No. What it is,
because
it's the mindset.
When you refer to the hammer earlier on, which, like, you know, you said someone can just make a tool, a hammer, and blah blah blah. To make the hammer, you have to manipulate metal.
See, this is what I'm trying to say. I think we're taking our word. If you hear it carefully, what I'm saying is,
it's just
I can speak for me. What I'm saying is, it's the mindset. So, you know, like someone might say, oh yeah, money is the root of all evil, but really and truly, I think it's the mindset behind the money. Because at the end of the day, some people will work hard for money, and some people will just go and kill for money. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the mindset. It's not that manipulating is totally bad. It's just the fact that it's coming from a negative place. You've got positive, you've got negative. That's how these are the things that we use to make electric anyway. Do you understand? It's the same with water. You got a currency, and you got a resistance. Do you get what I'm saying? You've got something pulling against. So everything circles in balance. It's the whole vortex. Everything has to add up. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the mindset on everything is manipulating for whose benefit, not yours.
Yeah, but that's after the process, because I get where you're coming from. But look, as somebody who likes to discover and build things, a scientist, the scientist personally didn't make it for destruction. He probably did it because he was striving for something better. It's someone that caught onto the idea and said, oh, well, can it do this as well? And the person said, well, probably if I tinker with it a little bit, but why are you asking? And this is why we get a lot of weapons and we get a lot of things which are having negative effects. And to refer back to you're talking about the process and manipulation, it's the basic laws of alchemy. You cannot gain anything without giving something up. You want money, you give up time. You want a table, you cut down a tree. You know, again, you're having to give something up to get or gain something. So it doesn't come out of nothing. Again, we want this best type of electricity. It's taken so many years of research and development just to get to where we are now. So we still have miles to go, but
we don't fully know that though.
Like, yeah, but all right, look, take
to
the
be
principle.
Like argumentative or anything, but we don't know that.
No, but all right, look, take the principle. You said something earlier, yeah. People make a gun. Now we do know that a gun is used for killing, but the gun itself isn't the killer.
I didn't use the gun. I didn't actually use the gun.
But I'm giving you an example. The gun itself isn't the killer. It's the person who's behind it pulling the trigger. Do you understand? So it's the person who's decided to use it for a bad purpose. So
what good can come from that gun though?
Nothing good can come from the gun. But before they made the gun, it was
software. What other use is the gun for?
Yeah. What other use, bro?
Hold on. The gun has become bad because before it was for hunting, but before it became a gun, it was gunpowder. It was fireworks. That's what the Chinese use for fireworks display. And someone took that idea and said, what if I put it in a barrel and point it at you? It will cause destruction. Do you understand?
With that, by that definition,
gunpowder is gunpowder. It's not a gun.
One second, Mazi. By that definition that you just said, then the whole premise, or from the inception of creating the gun with gunpowder, it was malicious from the beginning, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
you could say that, but then people used it to hunt animals.
But I use the hammer because it's neutral. It's got neutral ground because you can build something. Do you get what I'm saying?
So
Or you can destroy
you're talking
something.
about the hammer, but the hammer came from the design of bashing people over the head from a caveman.
No, it weren't. That's what right. When you
was
mentioned that, sorry to cut you, software, but no, it weren't, because when you turn around and you said like we just became years of trying to get this electric to here. I weren't trying to be
Can
argumentative.
we
I
try
was just
to
trying to
answer the
say,
question in the chat as well, please, Ned?
yeah, here. What I'm saying is, all I was saying is, we don't really know if it took all these years for us to get electric, because we don't know what they had taken from a long time ago. That's facts.
No, that's true. But all right, even if
Nikola
they
Tesla
took
said that he
everything,
got electric from the
100
pyramids. He learned it from there.
yeah,
So
125 to 130 years ago. But you got to remember, even if we had all that technology then, and then they took it away, and we've had to relearn it again. We've only got this far after relearning it again. You know, so it's a cycle. What are they going to do? Wipe it all out and we start again? Then how many years will that take for us to get back to where we are now?
idea, you know. I like that idea. I bloody like that idea. Is a really good. I like that software. That was good. That was actually a good idea. I think we should burn it down, burn it all down, and that would be wicked. That sounds like I'm more fire. I like that one, bro.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be talking to me on
burn
the
it all
phone.
down, burn down Babylon, and start again.
Let's
build and destroy.
Software, can you do with the question in the screen in the chat?
Please, because I can't see the chat currently at the moment. Can you read it for me?
So why are we using petrol all these years if we did not need it and water is better?
Economics.
What kind of economics?
Well, look, when they first discovered about fossil fuels, they weren't really working on, as far as I'm aware, efficient water powered machinery. Yes, we still had steam, we had the water mill, but having to transport or travel across the land surface, as far as I'm aware, we didn't have efficient enough transport that used or manipulated water. At that time, they were digging crude oil. So many things came out of crude oil, and one of them was gas, which made it easier to move away from burning coal. People needed gas, so it became a way to make money, because the only people that had it were either the people that owned oil rigs or people who accidentally found it. But then once they accidentally found it, once everyone started to become aware of how valuable oil was, the government came in and seized it and then moved the people who were living on the land to somewhere else. So eventually, because of competition, the prices push up, because there are only certain places where oil is.
Can you show any documentation to support the claims you're making though?
You can go and look at Russian history when they traded with England and America.
Russian
history. Yeah, you know, go and look, they got oil. Look up America. America's got oil rigs, and you know they've almost depleted all their stuff. You don't need me to tell you. You can go and just look at their history.
Do you know any sources that we can look at that will point us to exactly what you've told us, though, in the sense that I'll let you run back over it again because I don't want to misquote you.
To be honest, to quote all the people that own oil rigs. All right, look, Trump's family owns oil. So go and look at his history, and then you'll see that his family has, oil within their family, and they traded it in the past. So that's just one example. You can look at the Shell Foundation and look at how they gain their oil and how they distribute their oil. There are so many different places you can look. I can't just pick a needle out of the haystack because so many different ones have so many different stories. It's about where we've come to now and how people trade it on the markets, because all the markets have been affected because the fuel prices are affected, and the fuel prices are the people that are putting in a lot of the money into the system and actually backing the votes. Without these people, you don't have transport. Your infrastructure is finished, and this is what most people don't realize. They are actually helping to dictate how we run our system today. They're not happy. Things don't move forward.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with us anyway. So, everyone can have a recap online. You can rewind the show, listen back to some of what Software shared with us. You know, you can critique it for yourself, see what you agree with, don't agree with, X, Y, Z. I think Bank Boy was going to do something for us as well. I'm not sure what he wanted to talk to us about today, but I think we've spent quite a while now going through this part of this subject, to be specific.
Well, to be fair, I only came back on to address some issues. I'm actually gonna go back and eat my food now. You know, I didn't want to leave you lot in the deep end, so I thought I'd just help out a little bit. And like I said, please do leave your comments. If there's things you don't agree with or you don't like, just say. If you want me to address them on another show when I come on, then I'll get round to it. You know, but it's nothing but love.
So Software, bottom line before you go, though, the world is still like heavily dependent on fossil fuels.
It depends on how you're looking at it, because there are places which don't use any type of fossil fuels, none whatsoever. They have no westernized civilization and they don't want it. So it's your preference to how you want to live.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something to think about as well. Software preferences to how you want to live, you know, and maybe putting it into other words, I might just say, you know, how you want to live and what you want to live like, you know, and the kind of luxuries you want to enjoy.
They're not luxuries, they're accessories. They're not necessities that you need.
Luxuries, however you want to look at it, because it's down to the person, it's down to the individual.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just let people think for themselves on that. And yeah, it's been nice like talking with you about this. I don't know if you want to hang around. I think Bank Boy was going to do some poetry for us, if I remember rightly. So
I can leave some comments, but I do need to go and eat before I, die of starvation.
Yeah, even if you're just in the YouTube chat, you know, just have it running on your phone while you're doing what you're doing in the background.
Of course, I'm going to show the support always.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening, Bank Boy?
Yeah, I don't know about doing some poetry. I don't know whether we agreed on that one, but I'm going to talk about poetry. You know.
Go on.
What are you saying? You got stage fright now, yeah?
No. I may get in the mood later, you know, like doing like convo. So, you know, we see how it goes, innit? But yeah.
You sound like you're panicking over there, brother.
I'm a published author.
You sound like you're panicking, man. I hope your heart's not
beating. Called imagism, and basically that's a form of poetry that just tries to use words to depict a specific moment in time that's very vivid in its imagery. So
can you start with some poetry for us?
That is the form of poetry that I feel like I like the most because I enjoy design. So I sort of combine my poetry with art.
Can you start with some poetry for us?
I'm tired of people thinking poetry is just supposed to be like consumed from a book. You know, it's a form of art.
Yo, Bank Boy, can you hear me?
It can be consumed in so many different forms, so many different mediums.
Yo, Bank Boy, can you hear me?
So, you know.
Hello? Yo, Bank Boy, can you hear me?
Wall, you can look at poetry on.
Yo, Bank Boy, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Shiffa's just trying to interrupt you, though.
Can you hear me, guys?
I don't know what's going on there.
Can Bank Boy not hear me?
Did you want to say something, Shiffa?
Can you actually hear me? Hello, Bank Boy, can you hear me?
All right, yeah. So
hold on, Bank Boy, can you hear me? I don't know what's going on there. Can you hear me, 360?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Bank Boy, can you hear me
just
now?
Just a way of like expressing yourself with language, and language is beautiful, and you know, use language to actually
Yo, Bank Boy, can you hear me now?
Like make someone think in a certain way or a way that they've never looked at before. That just that just gives them a sort of emotional connection with the poem they've read. It's like a form of art. So why can't it be like why can't we experience it through various forms?
Your bank boy, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why you couldn't hear me before. I was trying to talk to you. I said, is it possible? Can we start with some poetry?
Oh, can we start with some poetry?
Yeah, with some of your poetry, because we know you're a writer.
Okay, I can do.
And for people out there that don't know that Bank Boy writes poetry, I'll let him tell you a little bit about he said a little bit about the type of poetry he's into, but obviously he can let you know where you can find his poetry and, you know, critique him further.
Yeah. I'll do a very short poem. It's very short, but it's quite layered. So I would say. So the title of this poem is called "Open," and I would say, I'm open to the idea of being close to you. You are a flower, and I am Pandora's. But if I open up to you, how long will you take to open sesame? And that's a poem.
Okay, exciting stuff. So, where can people find your poetry? And you know, is there a book? Is there a page? Is there
There's a
Instagram?
book out. My poetry book is out. It's called White Noise and Love Angels, or Love Angeles, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it's available on Amazon. White Noise and Love Angeles.
So, have you got anything else that you wanted to present to us before we continue?
Yeah, like I was saying before, it's just like I'm trying to reconnect. Like I want young people to reconnect with, you know, the art form of poetry. I like that a lot. So I do a lot of work, you know, through workshops and exhibitions with young people, and you know, exploring different forms of delivering poetry. So that's one thing I want to encourage. If you like language, if you like writing, if you like words, you know, give it a try, innit? Get into poetry, because there's a lot of ways. It's just like being a writer, innit? You can be any kind of writer. You can be a songwriter. You can be a script writer. There's lots of avenues that being a writer, you know, has. So for young people who are, you know, gifted in that way, but they don't quite know where to go or how to utilize it, there's lots of things out there, you know, that they can tap into.
Well, I think that's a good point you're making there, because earlier on we were talking about different hobbies and things people have utilized it while being stuck in the house, and I think that's definitely something else people can utilize. You know, if you've got creative talent, you know, you try to write, you know, write a script, write a play, write a poem, write something, write some music. You know, maybe you're not the writer, maybe you're just part of the band, who knows, but find where you fit in, you know, because right now, you know, is a time you can fine tune certain aspects of your life, because you're going to have a lot of time on your hands. So fine tune the right things now, you know, because it may help you in the future.
I think you're right. I think you put it right. Like at the end of the day, it's creative. Do you know what I mean? And it's giving people a chance to, you know, to discover that side of them of just being creative. Do you know what I mean? That the levels of art is not just. Do you know what I mean? Like Mills, like Bank Boy. What is it? Bank Boy said, you know, at the end of the day, it's not just writing. It's a lot. There's levels to it. There's so much. You've got to widen your horizon to, you know, what it's got to offer. It can attract so much more into your life. It can be a freedom. It can be an escape thing for whatever you're going through in your day-to-day life. I think that's great.
Exactly. A great form of therapy as well.
Yeah.
Great, you know, Just pouring out your thoughts on a page, on a blank page. You know, it can be very, very, very therapeutic. You know.
Yeah. It can lead to so many different type of arts, whether it be painting, whether it be, you know, martial arts. It can be so many levels. It's great. I think that's big. You know what I mean? Good on ya. That's a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Thanks. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share and offer the panel today. So over to you, Shiffa.
So obviously, you know, we heard your poem. Can you describe to us, you know, a little bit from your perspective what the poem was about and what you expect people to take away with them after listening to that?
I'll tell you what, I'll ask you what you think the poem was about, and I'll give my answer afterwards, after I see your or hear
I don't
your
know.
take.
Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that on the Bankware show. But right now, what we're gonna do?
No, because no, it's a conversation.
Right now.
You have to switch it back,
bro.
Spin it. We're doing some DJing right now, man. Just spin it.
Yeah, it's the Shiffa Dan show.
Yeah, right now you've been asked, innit? So we're asking you, can you give us a bit
I'm
of...
not saying I'm not gonna answer. I just want to get your take on it. What do you think?
No, that's cool. We can get my take after. But we want to hear...
Just tell me your take then, innit?
No, that's right. We want to hear your take first, because obviously you're the poet. We want to know what you was trying to get across.
My take will be the last take, innit?
I'll tell you what, yeah, this is what we'd like you to really do, yeah? Say the poem again. And then you explain to the people what
I'll
the poem's
say the poem
about.
again, yeah, because you may have forgotten it, and that's why you're trying to like sideline.
No, I'm not. There's no one's forgotten
I'll say the
anything.
poem again, and then you give us like
The
your
point is this. The point is
give
this.
us your
yeah.
interpretation of it, and then I'll tell you what.
Look, the point is this. The point is this. This is not a competition. Yeah,
it's not.
Reading
I'm just trying to get your view on it, bro, and that's actually fair.
I'm just waiting for you to finish though, yeah. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna finish saying your poem, then you can tell us what the poem's about. Then we can tell you if that message, if we kind of got it, if we didn't get it, we can understand who got it and why, who got it, and who didn't get it, didn't get it. You know, I think that might make more sense.
It's interesting for me as a writer to see whether you've kind of got it before I reveal it, because it's like I'm the poet, so I'm gonna be revealing what the poem is about. So it's actually good to get your opinion on it before I actually reveal it.
But my opinion will still be valid in the sense that, you know,
you can give me.
If you're telling me what your poem's about, then I can tell you if I heard the poem and I took that
you can
away
still
from it.
critique my answer after I give it. That's fine as well. But okay, I'll tell you what. I'll do the poem again, innit? And then you just give me your interpretation of it.
We prefer if you do it the previous way, which was you just tell us what the poem's about, and then we can let you know if we got the same thing from the poem. I want people in the chat room to do it as well. Like, listen to the poem, then listen to what the poem's about, and I just want to know if people connect. It's not really about so much.
Well, you're not getting me, man. You're not getting me. Like, trust
me.
We
are getting you.
This is not a catch like scenario.
We can do a social experiment another day, but right now we're doing it completely differently. We can't mix experiments. That would make sense. The only reason I'm doing this,
it's just asking you what it means.
Everything's a social life.
If you don't
social
want to answer
experiment.
it, that's fine. If you
life is a social experiment,
isn't it? Feel like you're being put on the spot. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll just do it.
I don't feel like I'm being put on the spot at all. I feel like ultimately, yeah, you know, we've asked you to do something, innit? It wasn't the other way around. If you had asked us first,
bro,
then fair enough. We could listen. But what I'm gonna say is we can compensate for either side, innit? But it seems like you don't like you. I don't know, right? I don't know what the agenda is, but obviously you don't want to reveal what it is the poem's about to see if people connect with it. You'd prefer to see if people just can tell you exactly what you was writing about. I don't understand.
No, I don't. It's not. I don't think you can tell me exactly what I'm writing about. I want to get your take on the poem before I reveal what it actually is.
I've got you. So we can get my take on the poem. We can get my take on a poem on another occasion. Now, I think that's fair. And on this occasion, we just like you to just read the poem so we can move on. Yeah, because this is getting long now, going back and forth. And then let us know what the poem's about.
Yeah,
or
don't worry about
if
it.
You don't want to, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
We'll do it another day.
If you don't want to, you don't have to anyway, like I was saying. But ultimately, you know, once you've done your poem, if you haven't revealed to us what the poem's about, then what we can do is we can just make our own interpretations, you know.
And that's what
if you have revealed what the poem's about,
you've just hit the nail on the head. That is
we can still do the same thing anyway.
Precisely what poetry is about.
I know, but this seems quite aggravated. Like, we're asking you to do something. Listen, we're asking you to do something, and you're not behaving correctly. Like, you've got to behave as well, innit? Like, we're all grown men, innit? Yeah. So someone's asked you to do something. Yeah, no, we are listening to you. We are listening to you. We are listening to you, but you're forgetting. Listen, you're on a show, innit? Yeah. Now the show is asking you to do something, and you're now asking the show to do it your way. We get you, but you know, at the end of the day, just to make things fair, we're saying, well, you decide on this occasion whether you're going to tell us what the poem's about or not. You just read your poem again, then we'll tell you whether you tell us or not what our opinions are, innit? If you choose to tell us what the poem's about, then fair enough. If not, then don't, innit? Like, whatever, either way. But ultimately, you know, I think it's imperative to the show that, you know, if we're asking you to do something, you can be cooperative. If you had asked us first, we would have cooperated, you know. So a little bit of cooperation goes a long way from both sides.
So that's what I think like this boils down to. It's like, for you, it's about who asked who first, and I think that's pretty immature. I never declined to answering your question. I simply said yes, that I would do the poem again, and I would like to get your opinion on it, you know, and I will also reveal my actual meaning of the poem, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, because like, poetry is about that, innit? It's about interpretations, and that is the art in it, in itself. It's about interpretation. So as a writer, I'm naturally inclined to get people's takes on it, you know.
Yeah, but then you still got to put into perspective.
And I reserve the right to reveal it when I choose to. Do you understand?
I hear you. So you still got to understand, though. Obviously, if it was your own show, it's going to be different. But you got to think about how that looks.
Whose own show?
No, but hit me out, because I let you finish, innit? I thought you were finished, and I stopped, innit? Now you're saying come off with my high horse and stuff, but what it is now, yeah, you're forgetting that you're on. This isn't the Bank Boy show. So when other people, let me just finish my sentence.
You're being very egotistical, right?
Because what we're doing now, we're being silly. You know, we're all grown men here. You can let me finish the sentence, and then you can reply.
Why are you being so egotistical?
Like, obviously, if you're going to keep talking over me, I'm going to have no choice. But anyone who's coming on the show, yeah, we just expect a little bit of respect as well, innit? Like, we're not going to disrespect you, but we expect and respect you.
I don't understand what you're doing.
If we can talk one at a time, that would be helpful, first and foremost. And secondly, if you could listen to what I'm saying to you and then reply, then I think that would make more sense at this point, because right now it's just getting childish. Yeah. So long story short, you know, anyone who's coming on the show, that's what we expect, innit? Like, if we ask you to do something, you know, there's nothing sinister behind it. It's not the end of the world. Like, you know, we don't have to dwell on the subject, or, you know, I don't know if anyone's got agendas out there, but if you've got an agenda, let us know your agenda, innit? And then we can try to accommodate, but we're not always going to accommodate for everything, innit? So, you know, I think we have to be fair. We did have a couple of comments. So all in 360, like, what did you take from that conversation there? How do you feel about what was said? I don't know if you're still there or if your microphone's cut off, but I thought I'd just ask you. Anyway, I think his might have been. He might.
Yeah. What part?
So in the sense of, you know, we've asked him to read out his poem, yeah, and then tell us what the poem's about, and then we can see if we connect in it. Now he said he wants us to do it the other way around. So I said, okay.
No. To be honest here, I'm even gonna get involved with that. What I will say is, I think you both got valid points. That's it. I'm not really gonna say no more.
So he could have just read the poem out and then not said anything, or said something. It made no difference. This is the point I'm making, in the sense of, you know, we can't have it all our way. You know, this is a show, innit? It's not just anyone's show neither. It's my show, really. So it's my rules if I'm going to make rules, but I'm still trying to be fair, innit? So anyone who jumps on the show, that's all I'm expecting, a little bit of fairness. Obviously, if you don't want to do it our way, then...
To be honest with you, I didn't really think about it. I just saw that you guys both got value points and just leave it there. Do you know what I mean? It's probably be a banter, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing. It wasn't nothing serious. So you guys are all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I do you know what? I understand both sides of an argument, you know. So as much as I'll hear my own side, I'll hear everyone else's side. But then I also have to let people know as well, like, you know, this is a show, innit? So, you know, it's not just for you, it's for the viewers as well. You know, so I'm thinking on the what benefits my viewers the best. You know, someone else may be thinking what benefits them the best. If you've been given both choices, then, you know, there comes a point where, you know, let's just relax on it then. It's not that big an issue. You know, that's what I think. You know, but at the same time, people do have to realize as well when they come onto the show that it's a show. So if we ask you to do something, then, you know, just kind of try to roll with it a little bit, you know.
I'm always like, I'm not even gonna comment as much like this. The fact that you got value points.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't speak on that sentence, and anyone was speaking for those simple reasons because I don't.
Of course. If anyone thinks I'm power tripping in any way, like there's no power tripping going on over here. All it is that at the end of the day, you know, we've decided to do things a particular way, so we're going to stick to that. Obviously, outside of that, you know,
what I will say is, you know what, like, here's the thing, like, I'm here, I speak because I strongly believe in, you know what, everyone's got the rights to, you know, like, I can't force nothing onto anybody. You get what I'm saying? Like, anyone's opinion. It's been a good show. Everyone's talking, like, you know, software. People may think I'm being sinister, start questioning. It's not that. I see the comments, people saying, you know, it's up himself, rare. He didn't need to respond to anything, and I think he did a very sensible thing. You get what I'm saying? It's just what I'm getting at is that you can't force someone to do something they don't want to. I don't believe it. Like,
yeah,
you know
definitely. Now, you can't force anyone to do anything, but in the same respect, no one can force us to do anything. So, you know, we got to look at it from both perspectives, you know, and then say, okay, well, what's the middle ground here? And then if we can't find the middle ground, we just move on, you know, because it's not the end of the world, you know, like that. It's just Corona season.
Corona season. I'm done.
Come on, man. It's crazy out there.
I mean, and that's it. That's where we are right now. You see, even like that now, like, look, everybody, it's nice to see that everyone is still keeping spirits. I've been seeing comments on here, people conversing. Do you know what I mean? Keeping a up spirit kind of thing in these times, in these invisible wars. You know what I mean? Where there's bodies getting carried off to God knows where. Do you know what I mean? In the thousands. Like, brethren, there's bigger things happening out here, man. You feel me?
There's a lot going on out there right now, and this is why, you know, I want everyone to feel comfortable to jump in the chat room and say what you got to say. But if we're gonna just, you know, if we're gonna heighten our egos, then everyone's gonna heighten their ego, and it's just gonna be an ego war. We don't want ego wars over here. We just want information. You know, everyone can have a listen. It's all friendly. You know, no one's trying to flip in, put anyone out of their way or anything like that. Everyone just feel comfortable. Just do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Don't worry about what I've got to say. Worry about what you've got to say, and say what you feel like saying. If you don't feel like saying it, you know, I want people to know as well, you know, feel comfortable that you can say, you know what, I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to do it in that way, you know. So I don't want people to feel uncomfortable, you know. Same way Bank Boy, he's not been forced into anything, is he? You know. So no one's being forced into anything over here. If you don't feel comfortable talking about something, you can just say, I don't feel comfortable with that. And we can just move on, you know, like that. But yeah, I think differently, you know, to wrap it up like a little bit, like today has been quite productive in the sense of, you know, software talking about this like batteries and water power and different types of energy and XYZ. I think that's been quite useful information to have in the back of my brain, because if these things are possible, there's a lot more things that are possible, that we've not thought into yet. Because I wasn't thinking about things like that. I wasn't thinking, could you make electricity from water? I didn't think it was I wouldn't have even thought it was possible, because I've always been told not to mix electricity and water. But in the same respect, I understand that everything is utilizable to some extent, and some people understand how to use things, how to utilize things, how to get the best out of things. Some people don't understand how to get the best out of things, so they just use it for whatever simple purpose they're using it for. But to someone else, what we're potentially calling water could potentially be rocket fuel. We don't really know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's levels to it, and that was my whole thing anyhow. My whole point what I was trying to make is that end of the day, there's levels to it. Until we got harmony, that's still a recipe. You know what I mean? There's still something that's part of humanity. You get me? Until we master that, we ain't gonna get those. Nothing good's gonna come out of it. Like, you know what I mean? We're just gonna. There's always gonna be. There's always gonna be a turmoil. There's always gonna be like a fight to gain that. You know what I mean? Ultimate power from it. We ain't gonna get it. This ain't gonna get it. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
That's just it, really. But yeah, man, it's been a good show, man. This everyone bless up in that. You know what I mean? It's all good. I'm gonna actually like cut out now, because I'm gonna go back online. Some Call of Duty for a minute. You know what I mean?
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's what I tried to tell you earlier.
That's all right. I'm gonna do some summarizing anyway. So whenever you're ready, you can jump off. But I think overall it's been a good conversation today. I'm liking the way the show's building. I want to show appreciation to all the people in the chat room. That at the end of the day, don't take anything personal you hear on this show neither, is one thing I want to say to people. The show's open for everyone. It's open for everyone to express themselves. We're not here to argue or bicker with each other, but sometimes we will differ in opinions, and that's inevitable. So, as long as everything's done in a respectful way, like, that's all we're interested in. There's no disrespect over here. We try and keep it as thorough as possible. Sometimes people are just going to differ in opinions, and we can't correct the positions enough to bring them close together again, in life, in general, and sometimes things are going to be hidden from you that could be very useful, could be detrimental to your pockets, especially. But I think all in all, everyone who came on the show, said some valid points. I think also everyone who's been on the show today, there's been quite thoughtful in their delivery, which I think is good. I want to big up man like Torok for jumping on earlier. Adaptability Vision for supporting the show. Big up to Panero. Everyone subscribe to the Panero's Mind channel. Make sure you leave some likes, leave some comments. And yeah, we'll just keep building. The community can only keep building, I know a lot of people are out there right now and they're not sure about, their future and, where it's leading them at this moment in time. But we can rest assured about one thing. As long as there's breath in our lungs, we'll still be here. I think we just need to be thinking to ourselves, what are we really doing with the time we're spending here? And how do we end up in positions like this all of a sudden, not even see it coming? How does these things happen? And what are we not paying attention to that maybe we should be paying attention to? You know, because it's all well and good us sitting on here today talking about cars that are powered by water that can drive, you know, 600 kilometers or however far that car went, if some supercar, £1 million to buy, you know, and saying, well, the technology's out there, this is possible, it's doable. But then, you know, we just go back to work tomorrow, go back to whatever we're doing tomorrow. Or right now, if it's coronavirus season, you go back to doing nothing tomorrow and, you know, just carry on with your Call of Duty. You know, no one's ever going to get to the bottom of anything. Everyone's always going to be asking questions, scratching their heads, twiddling their thumbs, you know, thinking about things. So I think what I want everyone to take away from today is, you know, possibilities. What are the possibilities out there for a different type of world, for something different, for a different environment, different circumstance for people to live under, you know, and really think about it. Like, it can't hurt anyone. You know, the most it can do is take up 10 minutes of your day, maybe 20. Who knows, depending on you as the person, depending on what your thought process is like and how much you're interested in the subject. But yeah, I think that what software pointed out as far as cars can run on water, imagine how many other things could run on water. If a car can do it, how many other things could do it? You know? Think how many other things that there are in your natural everyday environment that you pay for that could possibly be free. You shouldn't really have to pay for them if you put it in perspective. And if it's all economical, the system behind why you have to buy certain things to put in your car to keep your house heated, X, Y, Z, you know, then realistically, it might as well be slavery. You know, it might as well just be modern day slavery, but slavery nonetheless, because, you know, no matter what you've got, they're always going to own it. You know, no matter how much money you get, they're always going to take it away because you're going to be consistently paying them. And then they're going to want more. Then they're going to want to tax you on top of that. Then they're going to want you to pay all the government fees. Yeah. Then they're going to want you to pay your council tax. Yeah. On top of that. Or whatever it is. I don't even know. I don't even understand it. All I know is when you go to work, you get taxed. Then they want to tax you again from the council. Yeah. Think about it. Like, in reality, you know, people, we're just like, we're not even pawns on the chessboard. If we were pawns on the chessboard, we'd be in a better position because every pawn can become a queen. But when you look at us in today's society, we're not even pawns on the chessboard. We're something less than a pawn. You know, we're not even a citizen like that. And in fact, we are a citizen, but we're not sovereign. You know, when we have no status, you know, we're just people, we're just things, you know. And because we're just things, I think that's why we're in a position where we can't argue for things because we are just things. We come under the same category. We're just things, you know. And then obviously there's going to be a small percentage of people who aren't things. These people and own things, you know. So you're their property. So you can't ask for more or expect less or expect more. You just got to settle with what you're given. And that's how things really work, like in the world today, because they call it democracy. But where's the democracy when majority of the jobs in the parliament, XYZ, you know, go to certain people from certain families, you know, certain silver spoon-fed geezers and females, you know. But the fact of the matter still remains, isn't it? Like, what about the people who actually live within the system, who have to abide by its rules day in, day out, you know, endure the taxes and everything else that comes with it, you know, the hard life, the sweat of their brow, XYZ, you know, they just get overlooked. They're not considered, you know. It's a few people who make the decisions, you know, and the rest of us vote on who's going to make a decision. which is kind of silly because that means we don't really have a decision. We're just voting on who's going to make a decision, you know? And I think that's why it's essential that people really got to be thinking about what's going on. Like, big up the channel, Pinero's Mind. Everyone be subscribing to channels like this, like giving out information for free. A time will come when there will be no information. You know, there'll be no one sharing information, making videos, trying to help people along and put people on the right track of thought. You know, a time will come when all of this will be gone. Like, all of this, like, the way we're living now, it's all going to be gone. It's all going to be 5G. That means it's all monitored. They're listening to you. They're watching you. Wherever you go, there's cameras for everyone. Yeah, so there will be no privacy anymore. There'll be no understanding anything anymore in the way we understand it. It will just be the way they make us understand it, because they're going to take control of all the information, you know. But who's thought about this? Who's ready for this? Who's equipped themselves for it, you know? And that's just the beginning of it, taking over all the information, being able to access your information, your private information, everything, you know. The fact that this thing is radioactive, you know, it can boost its frequencies to levels where, you know, that it can affect human life as well as other wildlife around it. You know, so if you've done a bit of research, you know about some of these things. But if you haven't done any research, I'm just giving you some small pointers so you can do a bit of research and look into what these things actually do. You know, there's a lot of dangerous stuff going on outside. Why is everyone inside? You know, who's asking questions like that and who's thought about it like that? You know, most people, they just stay in their house. They ain't asking no questions, or they just do whatever they're doing anyway. They don't care. They just break the rules or bend the rules. But who's asking the right questions? That's what I want to know. You know, like right now, I think it's important that everyone, you know, still stay hopeful, though, and have something to hold on to. So, you know, out to all of my people who's got faiths and religions and that kind of stuff, you know, and you got something to fall back on, you know, people to talk to, you know, that's what's going to be needed right now. These are the times for those types of things, you know, when you need someone to talk to, because you know what, someone just died or someone's on their own, you know. There's certain people who ain't got no one. There's certain people who's out in the street living rough. We ain't seen them for a while. We need to make sure they're okay. You know, it's a deep one. Like, it's actually crazy when you think about it. Yeah, I think everyone really right now just got to stay optimistic, see how things pan out, you know, hope for the best. You know, that's all you can really do. Just hope for the best. Like, in the same respect, though, like, don't just hope for the best. Like, do your best, you know, to stay fit. Do your best to stay alive. Do your best to segregate, to social distance. You know, do your best to eat well, eat the correct foods, and to keep your fitness and your health in order. Because as we know right now, you can't go into a hospital. You get into a hospital, you might as well just be, you might as well go to the morgue, line up. It's crazy out there. Now, from what I've been hearing and what I've been told, you know, I've not been to a hospital myself though, so I could be wrong. You could go down the hospital and they got space for people in some hospitals. Who knows? But you know what's been predicted on the news. You know, look at what they're telling us. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. You know, I just don't know who to believe anymore though, because I don't understand how our death toll went from less than China's to almost 3 times more, 3 times the amount of China or more. I'm not even sure. All I know is that death toll went straight up. Should we look at the death toll right now? Let's have a look at the death toll. Yeah, let's bring up the death toll page. I think that makes sense. Everyone out there who don't, I don't know if you've got a computer or whatever you're using, You know, if you even bother to search it. I think let's look at the statistics and see what they say. So let me share my screen for you lot so you can see what's going on the screen as well. All right, there you go. So that's what I'm looking at right now, yeah. So right now, this coronavirus thing, it looked like it's just growing and growing and growing. And just growing out of control, you know. You look at the beginning of that graph there, and, you know, this is the UK, you know. From the 21st of March, it's like this thing is just ballooned out of control. Like it's just got hate. It's gone haywire. But yeah, going by the figures on this sidebar, it says Britain has had 16,000 deaths. If I look at China, China has had 4,000 deaths. So it's 4 times the amount of China's deaths. Yeah. That's how this virus is moving wicked, you know. Now, obviously, I've heard people talking, saying that not all the deaths that have been recorded are just corona deaths, X, Y, Z. But I'll be honest, like, I don't actually know. I can't verify those figures no more than I can prove them wrong. So I'm just going to like listen to what people are saying, listen to what's out there, as well as, you know, read for myself and just understand what people are saying, what the media is saying, what the government's saying, what the websites are saying, and just at least I've got a roundabout idea of what's going on. What's happening, P? Pinero's mind.
Yes, my brother. What's going on?
Just
I think I just logged in with 2 different accounts there or something just now.
I see what happened. You came up twice. I don't know how you did that.
Oh my God, man. But yeah, man, I just listened to what you're saying about they can't. It's hard to determine if they're dying from coronavirus or not, because some of the symptoms are actually similar to other problems, like pneumonia, for example.
Yeah, I've been hearing this as well.
Right. So even when we get the figures, they're treating basically any cold or flu symptoms like that. You go in there, you know what they're gonna do, and they're gonna call it coronavirus on paper.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're gonna do that is because they want people to think that it's rising up that fast. You know, I mean, they want people to believe that, so they're gonna put the figures down as what they want. Keep the fear in people's minds that we still got to stay in our houses and those type of things. Yeah? So the figures are really, I don't trust them at all whatsoever. You know,
I just went on Google and just typed in coronavirus statistics to see what the statistics say, or the worldwide statistics. But then when looking at the statistics, the numbers, like, they're quite controversial. Because, like, for instance, now, yeah, I look at the United Kingdom, yeah, 124,000 confirmed cases, 16,000 deaths. Now, America, yeah, has got like 7 times that amount, yeah, or maybe just a bit less than 7 times that amount, but they've got maybe just under 3 times the amount of deaths, yeah. Now I look at Spain, I see 200,000, 80,000 recovered, 20,000 deaths, yeah, which is, you know, at least a third of what Britain's death toll was, on top of the death toll of Britain. Let's look again now. So Italy has got less confirmed cases than Spain, but 24,000 deaths. We look at, all right, for instance now, so Germany, 146,000, yeah. Now remember, Britain has 124,000 confirmed cases. Germany's got 146,000. They got 4,000 deaths, but we've got 16,000 deaths. It just seems, I don't know, some of these figures, I don't know how they've accumulated them or what they're going by, but something just seems very peculiar. You know, like when a country like France has got less confirmed cases, yeah. But they've got like 20,265 deaths. So they've only got 114,000 cases, which is even less than England, you know. So I don't understand some of this. I don't understand. Like, these figures just look weird. You'd expect that, you know, the amount of cases, you know, and the amount of deaths to be relatively, you know,
close.
Yeah. So, for instance, if you had 20,000 deaths and there was 200,000 confirmed cases, you'd expect to see similar numbers for other cases where, you know, they've got the same amount of confirmed cases, you know. Right. So if we saw another country with 200,000, I'd expect them to have around 20,000. If it's a little bit more, a little bit less, you know, give or take, yeah, fair enough. But where the numbers are they're quite extreme, you know. And France has got less than Britain, who's got 124,000 confirmed cases. But then, you know, England's got, or United Kingdom's got 16,509 deaths. Now, we go down to France and we notice that France has got 114,000 confirmed cases, 37,000 recovered, but 20,265 deaths. So, you know, Britain's not even, I can't even see how many people have recovered there, you know. So, you know, how are they organizing these numbers, and how can we even trust these numbers, you know? Because when we go further down, if I just keep scrolling down, what you're going to notice is, you know, Singapore, 8,000 deaths, no, 8,000 confirmed cases, 801 recovered, 11 deaths. Yeah.
What? Read that one again for me, bro. Read that one again, Singapore.
All right, do you know what? We'll do Qatar first. Qatar, 6,000 confirmed cases, 555 recovered, 9 deaths. Yeah.
9 deaths.
9
That
deaths.
don't sound like an epidemic to me, bro.
All right, Singapore, 8,000 confirmed cases, 801 people recovered, 11 deaths. Yeah. Where else can we go to? So when we look at, like, for instance, this Romania one, yeah, 8,000 cases, 2,000 recovered, 451 deaths. Now, I'd like to know how there were so many deaths there in comparison to another country.
How much people,
that's got, you know, similar kind of population.
But the numbers are completely,
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's very weird. Like, looking at these numbers, I just don't know what to make of them. But the further we go down, what we notice is we're getting like less and less deaths. You know, Uzbekistan, 1,627 people confirmed cases, only 5 deaths, 261 recovered.
Wow.
There's one that's got 2 deaths.
Where is that?
Djibouti. Yeah.
What's that little island or something?
I don't even know, but it's got
a small island.
2 deaths. Let's see if we can find one with 0. All right, there's one with 0. Reunion says 0.
What about Australia? Australia, they've been getting battered by wildfires and all types of stuff.
Well, Vietnam's got 0. Vietnam has got 268 confirmed cases, 214 recovered, 0 deaths. So I'm not sure if that's due to the fact that some of these countries ain't reporting deaths, but they've got 0 corona deaths. Rwanda, 0 corona deaths. Gibraltar, 0 corona deaths. Cambodia, 0. Madagascar, 0.
So how can it be an epidemic then?
I don't know. Equatorial Guinea, 0. Maldives, 0. Cape Verde, 1. Liechtenstein, 1. Gabon, 1. Brunei, 1.
Maybe one day we should cross-examine these results with the Ebola results and see how that looks. You know what I'm saying? When the Ebola was out, because I'm sure the Ebola was in more countries, wasn't it?
I'm not even sure, but I'm just looking at the ones that say 0, like St. Lucia, Namibia, Dominica, Malawi's got 2, Fiji's got 0, Botswana got 1, Laos 0.
We all know that propaganda is one of the serious tools that they use. We know this, you know what I mean? So with propaganda in place, they can shift whatever information they want, left to right, to make it suit them. You know.
But I think we also have to consider the population of these countries where, you know, there's limited numbers of cases, because if the population is really small, then there's less chance of anyone getting infected anyway.
Yeah, and you know, what's how many planes are coming in? If you remember correctly, at the beginning when China was going through their thing at the beginning, remember correctly, they a lot of planes flew to different parts of the world from China.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why they was allowed to do that at the time, but it's funny how they done that and then they shut certain things down. So it's like, you know, I'm seeing these videos. Are you seeing these videos? Not to change the subject. You seeing these videos of these Chinese people beating black people?
Doing what?
Beating black people.
Where did you find that?
People been sending them to me all day.
Where are you finding them? On YouTube?
No, one of my pals posted it in the Panero's Mind on Facebook, and I got a few in my phone. And
really?
Yeah, but one of them that I watched was quite disturbing because. But the thing is, you know, when you watch them type of things, you can't really tell the situation, the story of what happened. But one of them that I watched, a black guy was getting beat, and these two other black people were just standing there watching 5 or 6 Chinese guys just beat him to pulp, man. You know, but we'll cover that in a different show. Where did
you find that though? What you just got
people
sent?
Bro, the things that people send me, bro, since this coronavirus is going on, the things that people, I don't know if they want me to post them or I don't know, but my phone just gets a lot of attention from these sharing these videos and all these 5G videos and all that, you know. So
I'm confused though. Why are they letting them beat them? Why would they let them beat them?
Well, right now, the situation is going on with the African people in China, you know. But these are people that eat you know. Let's not even get into that, innit? We'll do that for another show, but it's what's going on. I'll send them to you when we come off of here.
Yeah, because I was hearing something about the French wanted to do experiments on African people or something, and I'm hearing that the Chinese are beating them. What's happening here? What's going on in the world today? Talk to me.
Well, you want me to really go there?
Why not? Talk to us.
You want me to really go there? So
you go there.
Yeah, I wanted to do a video, right? I wanted to do a video, but I wasn't really sure what to do it because it is very controversial. Now, what I'm gonna say is this: I was gonna do a quick little discussion, just a quick one, just to give people the rundown of where I'm going with this. So in the Bible, they speak of the wicked ones. Some of them call them the Gentiles, you know, the spawn of the jinn, right? Now, I've been looking around to see who these Gentiles are. You've got some people that are down Speaker's Corner shouting out that white people are the devil and all that. To me, that's garbage. Because they always miss the scriptures out when it talks about the Gentiles. If they receive the light and they try and help them to get into the light, so that means that all white people cannot be going to hell. That just crosses all that out. I'll be doing a separate video on that. Guys, check that out. So I'm thinking, who are these Gentiles? You know what I mean? So I'll do a little bit more research and, you know, certain words like jinn and gen, who uses them a lot. And also, you know, a lot of research on reptilians and stuff like that. And I looked into China, and a lot of things go back to China, you know, through my research. And when you see the way they eat, how they eat, also the pollution that they have, there's been theories and people have been saying that they slaughter their own, you know. There's a lot of things, you know. Now, I'm saying allegedly. But my research kind of leads to the Gentiles being there, you know. But I'm going to do a video on that, and I'm going to show people. Because what people have to understand about those people is that they are very powerful. They are very powerful. What's this you got on the screen there, bro?
It says 4 Chinese nationals arrested over assault of a waiter.
Oh God, come on.
I don't know. I can play it for you if you want.
Yeah, play it. Let's play it. See what happens. Maybe it's the same one. What the?
8th of January this year, and this is how.
What, he's beating man like a slave, yeah?
Yeah.
2 painful strokes of the cane. This is apparently this.
Yo, pause it a minute, Shiv. I gotta get something off my chest. Now, my people, look. You see, in life we all have choices, right?
Why are you laughing?
No, because I have to laugh because that video kind of messed me up just now, right? And that's why I don't
play it again. Before you do it, let me just play it again.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 28th of January this year, and this is how the morning started for Simon Oseko. 2 painful strokes of the cane. This is apparently the standard operating procedure here at Chifu restaurant.
Yeah.
Boy, so in life you have choices, bro. You know, there comes a time in everybody's life where you have to stand up, you know. And you're not gonna feel it soon. You're gonna see it soon. And what I can really say to the people, them is try your best not to get put in those type of situations and just money is that job was not worth that. You understand what I'm trying to say to you, Shiv?
No, sir.
Yeah, the money, I don't care what they're paying him. You know what I'm saying? And people have to stand up, you know. Seriously, I'm seeing a lot of these type of videos. And what do you lot stand for? Like, you got to listen. You have to be a man out here. Everyone's going to get put in that situation soon, Shiv, you know, where they got to make a choice, innit? Whether it's the vaccination, the chip, you know.
I hear you.
And people them have to really start manning up. I don't even like talking like that, you know what I mean? But people have to really start manning up out here.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
Seriously, it's not a joke. All them guys out there, quick to jump out their car and have road rage, and quick to go and fight their brethren, or fight their cousin, or quick to go and shoot up something up for a couple racks. I hope you lot know what you're doing, innit? Like, because that's gonna be a big test on your side. But I just hope you guys know what you're doing, man. Go on, my brother.
I was gonna say, do you want to hear this last video before we?
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's play it.
We are discriminated every day. You cannot enter a mall without questions. Even in the buses, we are discriminated.
We don't know where they are taking us to. We have been in quarantine for 14 days now. We don't know where they are taking us to. Everybody's here. Everybody's here at this hotel.
Chinese are just taking advantage because they know atawafanye nini tutawapeleka nowhere, because those who should represent us, our voices who should talk for us, are not concerned at all.
Look at everybody outside. Everybody's outside. Look at the Chinese police. They won't allow us to rest. They took us away from our house. We don't have anywhere to live. They are pursuing us. Why?
The hashtag China Must Explain has been trending for the better part of the week after Chinese nationals were accused of...
See what I'm telling you?
Or allegedly importing...
Jen.
This seems to be happening in Guangzhou district where Muslims...
What is a jinn? You know what I mean?
Positive for COVID-19. Today, for the first time, Kenyans in China are sharing their experiences and tell us not to confuse this with rumors because it's actually happening.
We are discriminated every day. You cannot enter a mall without questions. Even in the buses, we are discriminated. I am appealing for the government to open their ears. They should pump, they should allocate the Ministry of Foreign Affairs money for the Kenyans who are now in China, who are trapped. Every day our doors are knocked. Every day our doors are knocked. Every day we don't live in peace. Kwa Kiswahili hapa tulikuja kuhustle. Kwa sababu Kenya hakukuwa na lingine, ni kuja huku. Sasa tunapokuja huku tena mnatusahau. Tunaomba serikali tukufu.
Yeah, it's sounding quite serious. I'm not gonna lie. It's sounding quite serious.
Yeah, it sounds dead serious. You know what? The person that put me onto this a long time ago was Justo. Justo was he sent me some footage of these 5 black youths saying they don't like black people, and they actually went to school in China. So the Chinese people were teaching the black children to say we don't like black people. So big shout out to everyone over China when it comes to you know, the people them that are going through this, you know what I mean? Because you know, we all know that China's got a very high population, so it's going to be hard for them to you know what I'm saying, fight back type. So prayers go out to them, you know. And
yeah, I'll be honest, I'm just taking this in now. It's not sounding good though, I'll be honest with you.
nah, it's not. It's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying. You might have to even do a whole show on this, or like a couple-hour show on this, because there's a lot of videos out there. But this is the times we're living in right now, bro.
Yeah, come on, man. No one ain't beating me, man. That's crazy.
And I hope you lot like are seeing this footage, yeah, and really realizing what time you lot are living in. I hope you lot are still not on like dream world time. Yeah, I hope you lot are really waking up. I know that people that are in the chat are definitely waking up. But anyone that watches just afterwards, like, you know, like, I hope you don't like look at them type of videos and be thinking like that's normal, or like that's the norm. You know?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like, big up to everyone in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Big up to everyone in the chat. Like, obviously, as well, for the people in the chat, like, we got different people at different levels of knowledge and intellect in different fields, different areas coming through the show. So not everyone knows about everything, innit? Some people, you know, they're just sharing what they know as well, you know, like that. But
and when I talk, bro, I don't like, and I notice you do the same thing. Like, me and Shifty can sit on here and go into biometric matrix talk, but we don't, we're not trying to, like you just said, there's different levels of people that are going to be watching, so we don't really like to keep going into the biometrics of it all the time, you know. You have to be understanding and realize that everyone's at a different level with this, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Shif? Because
yeah,
I've heard some people come on there and talk a different language. So it's like, they have to remember, I know it sounds great what you're saying, and it's all right, you're smart, but please remember that there's people here that sometimes you need to just, you know, don't be so hard on it, you know what I'm saying, Shif?
yeah, definitely, man. Like, you know, it's like-minded, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, if you find someone that's like-minded, then that's a blessing. If you don't, then just keep it respectful. You know, that's how I look at it, man. Like, life's a journey. You know, my nan always said that. Like, life's a journey. So we're all going to the same place at the end of the day. It's how are we gonna get there?
And it's gonna go left anyway. Like, it's disrespect. It's gonna go left. It's just not worth it. It's just I think there's been enough disrespect in the world, enough now for us to start trying to come together now, trying to make something of this. I'm sure over the last few weeks, people will hopefully realize that we have a whole system against us. You know what I mean? So us fighting each other now, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
It makes no sense. Stunting each other makes no sense. You know? So that's where we're at right now.
100%, man. 100%, like. I notice we're growing, the community is growing, the audience is growing. So you guys just keep growing, keep leaving comments as well. You know, we need them comments so we can know what you're thinking. When the show's dragging out, if you're not liking the subject, if you think you've got a better subject,
let us know.
Feel free, you know, talk to us. We want to hear from people We want to know what's going on out there in the world, you know, as much as we want to share a little bit of our experience.
Right. You know, and like Shitty always says as well, like this is really for all of us. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like more for you guys to voice opinions and
Definitely.
ask questions too, you know.
Definitely.
And also, if you lot have got some things that we want us to talk about, then let us know as well. Then I'll put that in the comments.
Come on, man. We're the people's platform right now. That's what we're trying to be. So we're just trying to give people a voice as much as trying to direct the voice. So if we hear something good, you know, we're going to try and push people in that direction.
Right. And like I always say, when we say like, share, and subscribe, it's never for the money. It's for the knowledge. You know, Shifty's doing his own thing out there. I'm doing my own thing out there. We don't rely on YouTube to pay us. This is strictly awareness. As you can see, we already got the channel from before. So we're looking at it like coronavirus. Everyone's been locked up now. So why not like do a chat, you know, so everyone can get involved. So I thought it's the perfect time to do it. Shifty's going to control it, do his thing. And everyone, like you said earlier, jump in respectfully. And hopefully you can take it to another level.
Yeah, thanks. Big up Gully and Cole, man. We're going to keep up the work, definitely. And yeah, to everyone watching, you know, just stay tuned in to the Shiffa Show, you know, stay tuned in to Pinero's Mind, you know, stay tuned in with the community, you know, stay tuned in with the earth, the frequencies. A lot of people don't know about the frequencies, and this is why it's good to go on Pinero's Mind as well, because, you know, especially for people who, you know, they may only have a mainstream type of knowledge, you know, it's going to give you at least an alternative way of thinking to look into, if nothing else.
Right. And my videos are very important. I like to, you see, the thing about me is that for those guys that do send me videos, and I respect all the videos that you do send me, but I put out Pacific videos. There's a lot of conspiracy guys out there that just throw up anything every day, you know, but I like to do Pacific videos that apply to us, what we're going through, you know. I could go back and do a whole heap of old videos, but it's not really the way I want to do it. I want to keep you aware and up to date. That's my thing. You know what I mean, Chef?
Yeah, definitely. Up to date is definitely a key there, because at the end of the day, we're living today. We're not living yesterday.
Right. So when people tell me things like, oh, you haven't done a video on HARP. No, I haven't done a video on HARP, but I know what HARP is. It's a weather machine that they have. But I did do a video on my Instagram, Pinero's Mind, a year and a half ago, about a short video. So you guys know I know about it. But like I said, there's certain things that there's so many videos on the internet as well. You know what I mean, Chef? There's so many different videos on the internet as well. So I just feel that the ones that people have done thousands of thousands to, I don't really see the point of me in doing that video. But yes, we over here, we do have knowledge of all these things. You know, but like Shifty said, we're trying to keep everything up to date of what's going on now, because we don't want to go back and look at old stuff and slip up and miss something.
Yeah, but also don't get me wrong, the old stuff can be useful.
No, the old stuff can be useful, most definitely, bro.
We need the old information, but it's just, you know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, me as doing that actual video, you know what I mean? No, Shift, like me actually going back and doing a whole video. No, I'm not trying to go. I'm not, like I said, we're not, you know, the difference is, Shift, here, we're not doing this for money. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not doing this for money, we're going to move completely different than someone that's really doing this as like, this is my business, this is my bread. You know what I'm saying, Shift? So
yeah, definitely.
It's a whole different thing. If I was doing this for money, I could knock out 3 videos a day. You know, and that's what I would do, because if I'm looking to pay my bills with this, I'm gonna take it to a different level. But that's not what we're trying to do over here. This is strictly awareness, messages from God, trying to spread awareness to people, to wake them up to all the sleep and BS that they've been living through for all these years.
Yeah, definitely.
And right now, a lot of people are waking up. Like, they're getting scared. This is why this is all being activated on us so soon. They're looking at the views. When they go on certain man's page, even David Icke, they kicked Alex Jones way off the internet, right? But all these guys that are in that nearly in a million subscribers and 250,000 views, they're seeing this. They're seeing this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, they're seeing this, and all the different channels added up. It's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are waking up right now. 2020 vision. I keep telling you. I suggest that you lot wake up this year. Don't even go past another year. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think it's good that we've had a nice conversation with me and you towards the end of the show as well, because it was a way to round things off, you know, and let people know where we're at, officially at, you know.
Yeah. And like you were saying before, we don't want no drama. You know, we don't want no drama on our show. We don't, you know, any trolls are watching, we're not even gonna acknowledge you, you know, unless you come, you know, in our space. But, you know, everyone, I hope that you lot are taking note on stacking up candles and flashlights. We have to keep making sure we say this every show, because we have to not forget that Trump said, and I know I keep saying this in my videos, but it's important. When someone says something like this to me and Boris, it's very important. Towards the end of whatever's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to die. And I just, and I want people to know that, but I don't want them to be looking at it like it's going to be the coronavirus. It could be anything. Like just the way that this coronavirus got come out of the blue, anything can come out of the blue. So you got to be prepared for, you got to be prepared. And these are the things, right? It's kind of crazy, because when we're talking about, get candles and flashlights and all these things, it's like these are things that we should really be doing anyway as human beings, you know. And it shows that we're kind of behind, you know. It shows that we're kind of behind in the way we think.
Thinking last minute,
right?
I call it.
Right. We're thinking material. Some people think material. Yeah, they want to get the house, but what if the house goes down? What if the electric goes out? We should really have all these things in place.
100%.
Or because if we don't have them in place, what does it mean? It's that we're relying completely on the government. We're relying completely on the council. We're relying completely on the land. You know what I'm trying to say? And we're not in a position to do that. That's not a good look. We shouldn't be relying on anything to do with the government. And even you ladies out there that have got on benefits and all them things, right? I know you're getting a certain amount of benefits every month, and it feels good. And that stack some of that away. I know it's hard to do it, but just there's people out there that've got autistic children and this, that, and they're getting a lot of benefits. I've got nothing against it, you deserve it. But what I'm saying is, stack it away. Don't just spend it out because you know the next one's coming, you know? And that's what I think that everyone should learn from this. That right now, these are the things that we need to be doing to support our families, you know? Every show so tastes death. Whew. Jeez.
Can we just round that before we jump off? We just do a round off, like, of everyone who's been on the chat show today.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you to first and foremost 360. Yeah, it was nice having you on the show, brother.
Knowledgeable brother, yeah.
We had software. Thanks for your presentation, software. You know, for sharing your information.
We got software all day.
We had Bank Boy. Thanks for your input as well, Bank Boy. Thanks for your poetry. Even though we
got Banks, boy,
it the way you wanted to, but big up yourself. Torok, big up Torok as well. Torok's coming and supported the show a couple of times now as well. So big up yourself, brother Torok, man. Appreciating your support, appreciating your energy. You're coming with a good vibe over here. I'm loving the energy. So hopefully we'll see you back again with more fresher subjects. Everyone who's been in the chat room. So I'm just going to start from top to bottom. So who did we have in there today? Adaptability Vision.
Everyone go over to Valley Vision as well if you don't check out Valley Vision, you know.
Yeah, if you ain't checked out Valley Vision yet, yeah, definitely.
Go over there and have a look, see what's going on, you know. Who else is there?
We had Flame. So big up yourself, Flame, for your comments as well. Who goes there? Big up yourself for your comments and for joining the chat room. Out to Royal Lion. Who else did we have in there? Out to EX. Out to Awaiting Wisdom. Big up yourself. Out to Bukaya. J Prophet. Gully and Co. We also had Don Stewart. Yeah,
that's my little brother.
I recognized.
Yeah.
Don, thanks for joining. We got a lot going on, joined in today as well on the chat. Who goes there? Then we had Southeast Raised. Thanks for joining on the chat as well. Forky, C, big up yourself, and Rush Hour. I think that's all of them. If I missed you, I do apologize.
Big shouts to everyone in the chat though, for real, and all the names that he said as well that took part in jumping on this show. Just know that, you know, if the show ever goes to where we want it to go, just know that you guys are definitely gonna have the front seat. You know what I'm saying? Shiffa, for holding it down from the start. I hope that people don't feel that they can wait around and wait for it to blow shit and then charge up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna let guys know.
Big up to the people who's been on previous days as well. Big up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Big up to Annie. Big up to Annie. We didn't see you tonight, but you know she holds it down. You know, and Mossy. Big up Muslim Minds.
Big up Muslim Minds. Big up yourself, brother, man. Missed you today, but hopefully we'll see you back tomorrow night. But we know everyone's got things to do as well.
Big up Papa G. You know what I mean? Papa G.
Yeah.
Big up Dion. Hopefully I'll see you again.
That's it. Yeah. But don't feel like you have to be here all the time. That you can.
Nah.
You're already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big up man like Papa G, man. Papa G made me laugh.
Yeah, Papa G was doing some smooth shit on the camera, but Papa G knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? You know, he's got a long history of knowledge, and I can tell that. You know, I can tell.
100%. What we're gonna do tomorrow, same time, same place, yeah?
Yeah, same thing, man. Kick it off, same thing. We got to be there for the people, man. It don't matter how many people's in this room. You know, we got to be here for the people.
And gentlemen, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna lock
ladies
up.
And gentlemen,
yeah, have a blessed evening. You know, say a prayer. You know, meditate on the situation. You know, and hopefully we're gonna find ourselves out of Corona season real soon. We're going to be switching the topic again tomorrow, so make sure you look in the title for the topic and for the link to the chat room. Hopefully we can see some of you guys who is leaving comments on the YouTube, joining the chat as well, voicing your opinions. That would be really appreciated. And just stay safe in general, you know. Stay social distanced, social distanced. And you know, stay alive, most importantly.
Yeah, and keep aware, like not like watch your backs tight, but sort of, you know, like just, you know, just be aware of your surroundings right now, and also be aware of who you got around you and who you got sitting around you right now. I'm being serious. I'm not saying be panicky and all, you know. I'm just saying, like, we're going through a different time right now, you know. So just, you want people around you that really got love for you, really care for you. You know what I'm saying? And, if you have to question that, if you have to question it, then that's your answer. You know?
Yeah, man. I think that just about sums it up. So big up yourself, P. Panero.
Oh no, Shiffa. Big up Shiffa all day.
Again, make sure everyone's hitting the like and subscribe. You know, log into the Shiffa Don channel. You know, like and subscribe. Go on the Spotify. Download the tune. It's out now. Life is hard. If you've got nothing else to do, why not have a listen to what Shiffa's been doing in his spare time?
We're gonna re-release that. We're gonna re-release that anyway. Put all the links underneath for you, and also the links for all Shiffa's social medias underneath the description in his show, on all the shows. So you can contact him there, and I'm sure he'll be up for direct messaging as well. If you've got anything you want to discuss, one-on-one, but you know.
And I think a good point to take away from today as well is someone said in the chat, you know, go on Panero's Minds channel, yeah, and watch the videos. Like, watch the Hydrogen Collider video. Look at what's going on. And then you might feel a bit more confident when you come in the chat room because you already know something anyway. You already know kind of, you know, some of the stuff that we might know, some of the stuff we might talk about, you know.
But at the same time, I did see that message, but at the same time, I want to tell the person that wrote it, thanks for coming on. But you have to remember that this is like an open chat, right? So not everybody is going to be linked to my page like that. And I respect all the fans that are, but it's an open chat for random people. And we don't always want people that you know, we want to be giving people awareness as well. So the people that are coming on don't know much. We want to be able to help them, you know, and that's the whole point of this. You know what I mean? So don't be too worried if they haven't watched any of my videos. I'm talking about people writing in the chats, not us. You know what I mean? But they will get to it eventually. You know what I mean? They will get to it eventually. But yeah, Shiffa's right. When you do get a chance, have a look through them. You know, but there's no pressure.
Yeah,
there's no pressure. Yeah.
Just have a look to bring yourself up to speed with some of the conversation. You know, check out other debates. You know, things that are going on in the world today, things people are talking about, to bring yourself up to speed with what's going on in the world. So then you've got things to talk about, and you know, you might see the issues that, you know, contrast with your life more and want to speak about those ones more. We're happy to accommodate. So
most definitely.
You know, we're gonna sign off. I think we're done. It's been a good show. It's nice seeing everyone. And on the other side,
bless up, bro.
Tomorrow, 8:30. Don't be late, everyone. Nice.
Peace.
Peace.